Boar's Head is bringing a slice of Japan to the deli. Introducing Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. Tender, slow-roasted chicken breast, coated in our signature teriyaki glaze, where ginger, garlic, and a hint of brown sugar meet for a flavor that's both sweet and savory. New Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. The bold flavor of Japan. Now at the deli. Only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
Blog Talk Radio.
Here we go. Blast off.
This is True Capitalist Radio. True Capitalist Radio.
I am your host, the man they call Ghost.
The badass of business.
Give him capitalism or give him death.
That's it. Period.
Broadcasting from his Skyline office studios in beautiful downtown Austin, Texas.
You sound fruitier than a box of Fruit Loops, for Christ's sake.
And now, he'll take it from here. Your host, the prognosticator of prognosticators, the man they call Ghost.
What's going on, folks? Thank you for tuning in with me for another edition of the True Capitalist Radio Show. Of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. If you're tuning in live, please retweet the program and spread it around like wildfire and tell everybody to come and listen live, chat live, kick back live with us right now. And the link to tell them to follow is blogtalkradio.com/ghost. All right, blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Everybody, spread that around. Go to the social networking sites. Remember that you can also cut and paste an audio widget, a True Capitalist audio widget. You can cut and paste it and put it to any of your social networking sites, your websites, your blogs, and you can simulcast the broadcast, believe it or not, folks. Anyway, I want to thank all the True Capitalists that are tuning in live or in the archive. This is episode number 33 for all the folks that are keeping track with the True Capitalist radio program. Let me tell you, it wasn't a very good day on the markets for individuals that were exclusively invested in the equities market, because there was a major sell-off in the equities market, folks. And, frankly, this is what I've been saying for a long period of time. I've been saying for a long period of time that we were going to see a sell-off. We were going to see a retraction on the market. I mean, I knew this is what was going to happen. As a matter of fact, what did I predict, folks? I predicted that it was going to, come by in the middle of the springtime going into summer. Now, I'm not saying that this is the precursor, that today's sell-off is the precursor to anything of that nature, but we do have to keep in mind that what is happening here is the beginning. You're starting to see investors starting to think a little bit more traditionally at this point in time. That's why you're seeing minuses all around in the equities markets, folks. And let's go ahead and dive right into that so we can get that out of the way. Individuals that were invested in the equities markets obviously took a hit. Big blow to the breadbasket, because the Dow Jones Industrials today closed out at 12,058. It was down 168.32 points. It basically changed out on the negative 1.38% on today's losses alone. And if you happen to own any of those major Dow components, which there is a few on the True Capitalist portfolio, of course you took a hit. But you know what the key is to beat the market? Diversification, baby. Diversification. And if you would have listened to Ghost and realized that not only do you have to have a piece of the equities market, you have to have the piece of commodities. You have to have a piece of the commodities out here. We're going to get commodities in a minute, because I'm going to toot my own horn here, because as I've said, we are going to see an economic retraction. We're seeing it now. We're going to see some bottom feeders throughout throughout the week and into next week and as the springtime comes along. Remember, folks, the retraction is going to be gradual. Investors are still skittish. They don't know where to go. Some people are going to try to bottom feed. Other people are going to try to, sell off. It's a very skittish market. But as I prognosticated, you can look back in the archive, blogtalkradio.com/ghost. I predicted that we are going to see an economic contraction in the equities markets, and I listed all the factors. You can go back in the archive. I said that inflation was going to be a factor. I said that the increase in commodities prices, which I also prognosticated. The increase in commodities prices. This was going to be a factor. The destabilization in the Middle East was going to be a factor. The fourth quarter earnings that has been driving the gains in the markets was going to be a factor because as we have analyzed, folks, if you've been listening to the True Capitalist radio program, I have alluded to the fact that the gains that we have been seeing in the new year to basically allow the market to gain as much as it has is based on cutting. These corporations have cut the fat off of their corporations. That's why you have seen gains. That's why you have seen good earnings in the markets. And this is what's been fueling all these plus days. Was it 3 months of straight gains in the markets as of yesterday? 3 months of straight gains. This is what I'm telling you, folks. The only thing that's fueling this is this cutting from the economic contraction of 2008, 2009. Folks, I'm telling you this right now. Not to mention that the fourth quarter is the earnings that culminates the holiday season. The holiday season sales, everybody knows that there's going to be stuff on the plus side. But anyway, folks, so let me continue on, folks. Like I said, be very wary in this equities market. There's still plays to be made, not to say that there isn't. But once again, if you would have been listening to the broadcast, you would have known that, look, at some point you're going to start seeing these economic contractions. You're going to start seeing some sell-offs. And this is where you're starting to see the investors, not all of them, but some of them are starting to say, hey, wait a minute, maybe what Ghost has been saying all along has been correct. And you're goddamn right, it's been correct. But anyway, the Dow Jones Industrials, we already talked about that. S&P 500 was down 20 points today, over 20.89 points today, closing out at 1,306.33. It lost 1.57%. On the negative in the S&P 500. That's pretty bad. NASDAQ closed out at 2,737.41. It lost 44.86 points today, and it was changed on the negative side 1.61%. So this is some pretty ridiculous, pretty serious crap, if you want my personal opinion. Good Lord. Good Lord is what I've got to say. But, once again, folks, if you'd have been listening to the Ghost Man, you'd have been diversifying your portfolio. And what has been Ghost saying? Commodities! And it doesn't matter what commodity that you've been invested in, whether it's on the futures options market, whether it's investing in certain stocks that deal in certain commodities that are on the plus side. You have to learn how to hone in your plays so that you can profit on the news that's coming in, folks. Do you understand? That's what I'm saying. So, right now, folks, everybody knows there is a sell-off on the equities, but look at the commodities market. Let's just take a look. Shall we? Anyway, folks, like I've always said, there was going to be an increase in oil. I know assholes, used to give me crap for it for the past couple of weeks because they were like, oh, hey, Ghost, you said there was going to be a spike in oil, and it's just not happening. We're sitting here with all the gains in the equities markets, and it's just stabilizing. What did I tell you about $100 a barrel by mid-spring? What did I tell you, idiots? Look back in the archive once again. All right, I've been listening to the shows. I know what I said. All right, I've been prognosticating this because I am the prognosticator of prognosticators, and if you would have made these plays, you would have made some serious money. All right, if you'd have listened to the True Capitalist radio program, you'd have made some serious money right now. Because look at Brent crude. Brent crude, of course, is the crude oil that's shipped off to Europe and Asia. It's up the roof. It changed today 4.32% on the plus side. It was up $4.83, closing out at $116.63 a barrel for Brent crude oil. And, of course, Brent crude is the oil that's shipped off to Europe and Asia. Let's take a look at the gasoline futures. I mean, we talked about some modest gains in the gasoline futures yesterday. Take a look at them today. They are up 3.13%. I mean, up $29.25. Pretty unbelievable. Heating futures are up $11.16, a change of 3.80% on the plus side. Natural gas, of course, natural gas, folks, don't expect too many gains into that because, we've recently found out America is the Saudi Arabia of natural gas. So you're not going to see any movement in the energies markets when it relates to that. It was down 17 cents today. Change of 4.26% on the negative side today for natural gas. And we talk about sweet crude, West Texas crude. I'm talking about West Texas tea. Let me tell you something. Sweet crude, folks, is finally starting to come to pass of what I prognosticated several weeks ago on the True Capitalist radio program. It is over $100 a barrel right now, and if you would have just taken my plays, if you would have just diversified like I've been saying, you'd have made some serious money. You'd be making some serious money like I'm making right now, folks. I mean, look, I know that I'm trying to sound a little serious because, that's what these people in the media do. When there's a bad day on the market, you can tell that the business people like Liz Clayman and what's that broad, Pelalides, that Greek broad on Fox Business. She's on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, hot piece of Greek tale. Whenever there's a bad day on the market, these bimbos kind of tone down their sex appeal a little bit, when it comes to delivering the bad news to the investors. So I'm trying to, take my cues off of that particular delivery when delivering a lot of these bad news. But, folks, I'm diversified, and that's what everybody should be doing. Hey, when one part of your portfolio is doing bad, the other one should be doing great. All right? Anyway, sweet crude, which is WTI West Texas crude, which is basically the crude oil that's consumed by North America, it was up today 3.74%, an increase today alone of $3.63, and it's closed out today at $100.60 a barrel. Oh, man, and if you're a futures trader, if you're an energy futures trader, options trader, if you'd have put in some put options around, $100 a barrel around this time, or maybe in mid-spring, like Ghost prognosticated, you'd be making some serious goddamn money, for Christ's sake. Good Lord. Or invested in an ETF. Another good play when it comes to these oil stocks, folks, if you want my personal opinion, look into these pipe-laying oil operations. I'm going to, make a few stock picks sooner or later about those, but, that is a play to make. It's one thing for somebody to pump out the oil. It's another thing to deliver it. Delivery systems are going to be very, very integral in this high-energy demanding field of world modernization. Everybody's going to want more and more fuel, and they're going to need ways to get it. As a matter of fact, I read today that the Canadians want to lay a pipeline into America because believe it or not, Canada's got some pretty good oil. And they've got pretty decent techniques on how to take it out of the earth. They don't pump it out. They actually, through some kind of, I don't know the exact method. It's not pumping. It's like they're sucking it out of the sand beds that are underneath the Arctic ice of Canada. I don't know. I don't care. But what Canada wants to do is be able to build a pipeline into America so they can just kind of pump the oil that America wants and start selling the oil to America because, they want to make some money. Canadians, they got some natural resources out there. They're not stupid. They know barrels of oil are $100. They want a piece of that action. But what's prohibiting that, little pipeline from being pumped in that would actually help us as American people to get new markets to get our oil from? What's prohibiting that? Being green, these green assholes that are saying that it's going to hurt, some kind of natural wildlife or some kind of, microscopic salamander is going to get hurt or some kind of crap, and that's why we can't have it. And now the Canadians are finally saying, look, Americans, if you can't get your crap together, we'll just go ahead and go west. We'll do an underground pipeline or underwater pipeline all the way to China, and we'll just sell our goddamn oil to China, and that's all there is to it. I mean, what are we doing is what I'm saying when it comes to this oil crap. The point of my story there was that I personally would start making some oil plays when it relates to piping. When it relates to these people that lay the pipe down, I think this is going to be a very hot sector. I know that the oil and the energy markets have already seen their peaks, in my personal opinion. You look at all the gasoline stocks. I mean, you could probably make some short gains on those, but I wouldn't necessarily go too bullish. If I'm going to be bullish on anything as it relates to these hikes in the oil, is obviously futures, obviously options, obviously ETFs that are related to oil, but piping. Take a look at that. I'm very bullish on piping now. Any kind of rigs that kind of go out and just lay out these pipes and allow oil companies to use their pipelines to, deliver oil. It's a delivery system. Because remember, that's what's going to have to be innovative. Anyway, love oil. I'm bullish on it. I've always been bullish on it. And all you assholes that were sitting here saying, oh, Ghost, it's only $89 a barrel right now, like 2 weeks ago. Well, now y'all can, get a smack in the mouth in reality and tell you, hey, do not doubt the prognosticator of prognosticators, boy. Anyway, let's move on to the other agricultural commodities. Canola was up $3.90. Cocoa futures, folks, it's a surprise that we see some sell-offs on the cocoa futures, but you know that you were going to see eventual sell-offs. There was way too many gains in the cocoa futures market. Those sell-offs were obviously reflected in other investments that we've seen some major gains on today that we'll talk about in a minute. But cocoa futures are down $75. Same with coffee futures. They're down $2.40, a change of 0.88% today. We saw an increase in corn. Jesus Christ, if you heard yesterday's broadcast, you know how I feel about goddamn corn. But it was up today, $4.50. Cotton, of course, we're going to see some increases on cotton. We saw some sell-offs last week, several days consecutive. We saw yesterday a small increase. Today we see another increase in cotton. It's up $2.37, an increase of 1.24%. So, maybe the demand for clothing and, other cotton goods are still in demand, even though the market did retract to the high prices of that particular commodity because of scarcity. We are seeing that, apparently, according to investors here in the futures market, that they believe that there's going to still be some damn high demand for cotton. So let's see what we got. All right, let's see where it goes. Wheat futures, the gradual increase in wheat futures, we know, all right, you know and I know that wheat futures were going to have a sell-off because of the dramatic increases. Remember, I was talking about it yesterday when it had another increase in the in the wheat futures market, that I feel sorry for these goddamn Mexicans out there in Mexico that just want a freaking tortilla. I just feel bad for them. They're out here, they just want a damn freaking tortilla over here. And lo and behold, because the wheat futures are going through the roof, they can't make their goddamn tortillas and get their tacos. It's sad, man. It's just unbelievable. But anyway, they sold off today. It was down $6.75. We also had sell-offs in the sugars futures market. It was down 19 cents today, a change of 0.65% on the negative side. Soybean futures, we saw an increase here in the soybean futures market, up $10.50. Lumber, an increase, 0.50 in the futures market. That means it was up 50 cents. Oat futures, we're seeing an increase in oats. We saw sell-offs last week. They're coming back in, up $8.50, an increase of 2.23%. And we can go on with the wool futures. We knew there was increases there. There was going to be sell-offs. It was down $7. Now, let's go down to the metals market, baby. If you'd have been listening to Ghost, you'd have been making some serious money here also, folks. You understand? You'd have made some serious money here also. Now, what was I saying at the beginning of the True Capitalist radio program. What was I telling people out there when gold was like, whatever, below 1,300, like 13 and change or something? I was telling people, you know what you need to do? If you don't know how to invest, if you don't know jack, if you don't know shit from Shinola, excuse my French, when it comes to investing, you should have accumulated gold. You should have gone out there to the pawn shop and started, talking these idiots down into a deal to buy a bulk group of gold, even if it's scrap gold. It doesn't matter, because gold is going to continue to increase. It's the safe haven. Don't you understand that? I mean, I don't understand why people aren't believing me. I don't believe it either. I think it's a ridiculous bubble, if you want my personal opinion. I don't think gold is, the end-all. But because there's a bubble, and because yours truly recognizes it, and because I'm the prognosticator of prognosticators, you're seeing what I'm saying come to pass. Folks, gold today went up $24.60 alone, closing out at $1,434.50. And we're starting to approach that $1,500 mark, folks. And like I've said, give it 2 years. We're going to see $2,000, $3,000, potentially $4,000 an ounce of gold before that bubble pops. And don't you want to be that guy who held on to that gold when they bought it at about $1,300, $1,400, and then when it was about $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, you need to liquidate. You go ahead and liquidate it and take that cash, and as it pops and retracts itself and goes back down to about 800 or 900, is about what gold should be about this time, you'd be one of the people that profited, You would have been one of the ones that profited, for Christ's sake. Anyway, folks, gold is up $24.60, a change of 1.74% alone. Once again, silver. Let's talk about silver, folks. First of all, let's talk about gold. It's at an all-time high, by the way. All-time high today. And it's going to continue going up. I know that people thought I was an idiot saying that. It's going to continue to go up. Mark my word, all right? All-time high for gold. A 30-year high for silver today, folks. 30-year high for silver. Silver is up 85 cents today, an increase of 2.53%. 30-year highs. And what did I say? I mean, commodities are going to continue to go up, all right? Continue to go up. Copper, of course, all those highs. I mean, we've seen all-time highs in copper. Right now, we're still at the all-time highs. We were going to see sell-offs. We saw a sell-off today at $3.20, but all these metals, folks, I'm bullish on. I don't see them going anywhere. Whether you accumulate them through physical matter, like you got, silver, physical silver bars, silver jewelry, gold bars, or whether you're investing it via ETFs or stocks, I think that you need to get in on this gold play if you catch my drift. If you diversify your portfolio, and even if there is a bad day on the equities markets like you're seeing today, you'd be able to still have the market beat and still be on top and still be able to be like me, sit back, recline upon my desk, even though the market was down almost 150, over 150 points, whatever the hell it was. I can crack open a Negra. That's right. I got me a Miller High Life right here, a Negra. Used to be called a Weta, but they got the black model on the can now, so we're going to call it a Negra. I can crack open a Negra right now, crack that open, kick back, and say, you know what, I got the stock market beat, and there ain't nothing that they can do about it. Diversification is key, baby. Cheers to everybody out there that's listening in out there to the True Capitalist radio program. Cheers, baby, cheers. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, folks, let me go ahead and finish out the markets. Livestock is down $1.47. Cattle feeder future is finally down. I mean, we've seen some gains in that particular sector. As I've said, it's not the cow that's increasing, folks. You know, for all you folks that are wondering why your damn cheeseburgers costing more and why your steaks are costing more, it's not the cow. It's the crap they feed feed the cow that's costing more than the cow, which in turn is costing you at the damn price of, cheeseburger or steak or whatever the case might be. Cattle futures, though, are down, even though they've had gradual gains on a consistent basis up until this point, down 95 cents. Lean hog futures down 90 cents. And that is the markets for your ass. Now, the True Capitalist portfolio, if you look at it, it did take some hits today, don't get me wrong, but we're still up 2.5% on our money if you would have invested all the stocks that we've mentioned here. We're still up 2.5% on our money. Now, the things that took major hits, of course, were the major Dow components, the major components that made sectors. GE, of course, took a major hit. It was down 2.69%. GM down today, which took a considerable hit on the True Capitalist portfolio. But once again, I'm bullish on those. I'm long term. I still think those prices that are there now, they're good for the getting. Both of those particular stocks have been recapitalized with our tax-paying dollars. It's not going anywhere. This government's going to make sure that it gets its money back, because if it doesn't, the Democrats are going to look like complete and utter imbeciles, and they're not going to be in office for the next 8 years or something of that nature if these things are failures. These were initiated by the Democrats with our tax dollars. They need GM stock price to get to at least $58 and change for them to even break even. GE, of course, we all know that the president of GE is the leader of this presidential jobs creation committee that Barack Obama initiated. So, they're pretty tight. I'm pretty bullish on both of those. Those are the only ones that took a major hit. NVIDIA took also a hit. It was down a little bit, but other than that, everything's pretty much breaking even. We were down on everything today. Everything was down, period, but we're still up 2.37% on our money. But I did want to focus some attention on this one ETF that I advised people to get in on to kind of hedge against any potential hit that you're going to take in the equities market. And it's this ETF that was very inexpensive. I made sure to find an inexpensive ETF so people can get in on. It's symbol OIL. Now, it did take some losses yesterday because, of course, there was a sell-off in the oil market. If you listen to yesterday's show, it still bamboozles me. I mean, I was sitting there yesterday saying, I don't understand what these idiot investors are thinking out here, but whatever, I'm still going to deal in the market, still try to capitalize, still try to get some day trader rake and, get some capital, do whatever I have to do. But this ETF, symbol OIL, if you would have been listening to us February 22nd when we were advising people to kind of just start entertaining that play, you would have got in on that particular ETF at about $23.90. $23.90. Now, what is the ETF? It's an extended traded fund, which is basically managed much like a mutual fund. The only difference is that these mutual fund or these extended traded funds, not a mutual fund, it's like a mutual fund where one manager or a group of money managers are utilizing the capital generated from the sale of these securities so that they in turn can trade on whatever sector that you're investing in. Henceforth, if you invest in symbol OIL, you would be investing in the Goldman Sachs Crude Oil Return Index, on the performance of that particular index right there. And that particular Goldman Sachs Crude Oil Index reflects the returns that are out there that are leveraged by the managers of this particular fund in futures contracts and other such things that probably are a little complicated for the average investor to understand. Futures and options trading are very complicated. That's why you have all these people on the business channels in the advertisements with all these technological little pieces of software that are supposed to give you the heads up. That's why you've still got Charles Schwab out here saying, hey, come on, we can give you advice. We got advisors here that can hook you up if you're an options trader, the things of that nature, futures trader. Those are very tricky markets to try to, profit in. But if you still want to make plays, even though oil futures are up the roof or gold futures are up the roof, whatever, and you just don't understand, there's going to be a hike in real estate sector or a hike in the retail sector, but you just don't know what stocks to go in. And ETF is an easy way to be able to make some gains on speculations that you feel are going to happen. And if you were to listen to me on this OIL, today it was up 3.44%. Closing out today at $26.74. Do you understand what I'm saying there, folks? I mean, that's some serious gains. If you were to listen to us, you'd be up 11.88% on your damn money. 11.88% on your money. I mean, that's serious cake, for Christ's sake. I mean, don't you understand, folks? By listening to the True Capitalist Radio Show, it's like making freaking money. I mean, good God. I mean, I'm giving millions of dollars of information out here, and if you look back in the archive, folks, all I have is a bunch of whippersnapper, milky-licking pieces of nipple-clamp-loving, butt-plug-up-the-ass-looking garbage that insist on doing nothing but agitating the show with prank calls and, all kinds of agitation and all this crap, and I really don't appreciate it. But let me tell you something, by listening to the True Capitalist radio program, it's like making freaking money. Once again, symbol OIL, it's an ETF that reflects the Goldman Sachs Crude Oil Index. If you would have just listened to us on February 22nd, you would have got in at about $23.90, and today it closed out at $26.74. I'm still seeing increases on that. You would have been up 11.88% on your money. Serious business right there, folks. Serious freaking business. Anyway, 646-652-4869 is the number to call. I want to hear from you. We're going to talk about a variety of different subject matters, folks. It's kind of a free format edition. I know in the description it says that we're going to talk a little bit about Ben Bernanke's testimony in front of the Senate Banking Committee. It was that particular event that caused a lot of the sell-offs in the equities markets, believe it or not. If you were up this morning like I was and saw the increase right off the beginning of the opening bell, there were increases in the Dow, increases in the S&P and the NASDAQ, and then once Ben Bernanke took on the testimony at the Senate Banking little committee there, all of a sudden the damn stock market started plummeting. And the reason it did was because Ben Bernanke was a little cautious at the idea that because of the rise in oil prices and the rise in the commodities prices, there may be some kind of curb to the potential recovery that that he likes to call it. The recovery may be curbed, and we may kind of double dip into a recession. But he's confident. The thing that he wants to emphasize, he's confident about it. But if you're a listener of the True Capitalist radio program, you know as well as I, you're going to anticipate something. You got 2 years left to raise your capital here in America before these damn Bush tax cuts reset themselves. You're going to see tax rates after 2 years go up to 70, 60% tax rates. You're going to see a bunch of cutting. What did I tell you in the beginning of this broadcast? Look back in that damn archive. Look back in that damn archive. blogtalkradio.com/ghost. I predicted this crap. It's just coming sooner than later because we have to do it. I mean, we're cutting, and look at how the teachers are reacting. These Wisconsin bastards that are out here pissing and moaning because they still want their increase in pay even though they suck as teachers. They want their pensions, which are nothing more than the last year of salary that they retire with, plus an 8% yearly increase for the rest of their life. They want to continue to have that on the taxpayer dime. And this is what they're protesting for out there in Wisconsin and all over America. They want these dumbass, ridiculous jobs, and they want to be able to utilize this collective bargaining, which is nothing more than holding the taxpayer hostage to be able to extort our money. And it's not going to happen. It shouldn't happen. But just look at what's happening. Look at the reaction from these unions, and these are supposed to be the educators of our children. Think about that for a second. These are supposed to be the educators of our children, and take a look at how they are reacting to the cuts that are coming to their sectors. Just imagine, folks, when we got to cut a little bit of the Social Security, and these seniors start getting all pissed off Just imagine we start, cutting a little bit of this Medicaid, Medicare, and you start having these idiots, out here that used to get their Viagra for free and, their hover rounds for free on the goddamn government dime. Just imagine when they can no longer do that. They're going to be pissed off. Just imagine when all the PO in America can no longer get their damn food cards, their housing voucher programs, their damn government cheese and all the other damn government. Just imagine when all this is finally cut. I mean, we're looking at the reaction by the teachers. Just imagine when we start cutting all the other stuff. It's going to be a freaking madhouse, man. It's going to be a freaking madhouse. And this is why I'm saying, folks, as capitalists, we have to look out for ourselves. We got to obtain assets. We got to be able to make some serious capital, and that's all there is to it. All right, and this is why I'm going out and I'm extending my hand out to all of you and saying, hey, it's time to be a capitalist. It's time to start making some serious goddamn money. Anyway, I want to hear from you folks. If you got anything to say, I'm taking calls right now. So if you want to get a call in and you want to call in and talk to the True Capitalist Radio host, Ghost here, give me a call. 646-652-4869 is the number to call. Go ahead and raise your little hand up if you want to be put on the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. I'm looking in the chat room. We're seeing a lot of regulars in here. What's up, Sereno, and what's going on, Drew Breesky, and Felix? What's going on with Felix and NJ? Future DNB, what's going on with you, man? Jeannie Santori, he's in the house, or she's in the house, excuse me. What the hell am I talking about? Moxie, what's going on? I can't say that name after Moxie. The tech guy, what's going on here, man? The truth is out there, seen you a couple of times. What's going on to everybody out here that's listening to the True Capitalist Radio program? And for those of you that aren't, used to listening to us, welcome. Retweet the program. blogtalkradio.com/ghost is the link to send people. Now, we're taking calls here. The number, 646-652-4869. Let's take some calls here. 111, you're on the air.
Hey, Ghost.
Hey, 111, you there?
Hey, do your parents are gay?
What?
Do your parents gay?
What?
Nigga, you. Ghost.
Man, I mean, you see, that's what's sad. You see, you got a 486 SX, all right, and you got about 4 or 5 different hard legs in the same room. You're on Skype. And all of you are saying things into the microphone, and because of your lame-ass computer and your 4K modem, you can't upload all the voice packets up to the server for us to hear you on the broadcast, you stupid, lamer piece of garbage. The least you could do is get a decent damn computer that's bought from somewhere else other than the goddamn flea market, for Christ's sake. If you're going to prank call, make it worthwhile, all right? Pineapple Meister, what's going on with you?
In the event that the weighted companion cube does speak, the Enrichment Center urges you to disregard this advice. Please escort your companion cube to the Aperture Science Emergency.
Jesus Christ, I mean, look at this. This is what I don't understand. They get the soundtrack to, like, Weekend at Bernie's or some crap, or Cool Running, or one of these, ridiculous-ass movies. They put it on a soundtrack, and then what? They call up and we're supposed to be like, it's so funny. It's not funny, pal. I mean, look at the chat room. Nobody gives a crap. Nobody's giving two rats' ass. It's not funny, all right? Why don't you go to jokes.com, rip off a comeback or something, and then maybe, just maybe, you might crack a few lulls out of people. But until then, honestly, you're moronic and stupid. Major fails. All I got to say to all the people that are attempting to try to prank call me or try to get some lulz, all I got to say is major fail. Major freaking fail, baby. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe that'll sink into your game-induced brains into believing that, hey, man, I don't have a personality. It's not funny anymore. Anyway, let me take a swig of this damn beer here. As a matter of fact, I got my Crown Royal Reserve here with a damn shot glass. I'm thinking about shooting some shots. I'm a little afraid to shoot some shots here because, I turn into kind of a little party animal when I, take some shots here. I'm not trying to say that I'm like, something ridiculous, but, I'm not Charlie Sheen or anything. But, the thing is that, now that I'm not a conservative, now that I got some cash, now that I'm living in downtown Austin, Texas, and I just got to walk down to 6th Street and, have some pretty good libations with some people that are somewhat intelligent. I mean, there's a lot of intelligent people out here in Austin, Texas. It's unbelievable, and the thing is that I like to party. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, I figure that I haven't been a big drinker my whole life. I just started drinking on a consistent basis, believe it or not. I mean, I'm not a. If you look back in the archive, folks, I haven't been a big drinker. I never have, but I'm starting to like it. I'm starting to like it a lot, folks. So cheers to everybody out there. Very, very good. Yeah, I know there's some liberals, alter ego social nets, like, hey, it's a liberal city in Texas. I know it's a little liberal, but we got some conservative things out here, too. Don't get me wrong, I know it's liberal. I mean, we had that one transgendered homeless person, what the hell is it, Ginger. Believe it or not, this transgendered person has a damn Fu Manchu mustache and beard. And yet on 6th Street, usually, well, I don't know if he does it anymore, but I remember he'd go on 6th Street and he would go in some kind of goddamn G-string or thong. Believe it or not, this is like a 40-something-year-old man that's obviously had his ringer and his time with heavy induced intoxicants, and he's sitting there with a Fu Manchu with a thong on, going out there acting like some Richard Simmons fruit bowl in the middle of 6th Street, and believe it or not, he's become some goddamn weird celebrity out here in Austin, Texas. And believe it or not, that asshole tried to run for mayor out here in Austin, obviously unsuccessful. So I know exactly what you're talking about when you say Austin is liberal. It is kind of liberal, so. But you know what? I mean, it's not that bad, all right? It's not that bad. We're still conservative out here. We're still pro-business. If you've ever come out here to Austin, you're going to be surprised at the amount of independent business that's out here and is able to be successful given the amount of money that it takes to lease out a commercial piece of property in this part of the country at this point in time. Anyway, let me go ahead and take some callers here. Eric Platt, are you there, sir?
Yeah, I'm Philo Platt in the chat room there.
What's going on?
Oh, not much. I haven't drank in 2 days, so you're kind of killing me. I'm kind of getting the shakes, but...
You're getting the shakes? Well, why don't you just keep drinking, man? Get some of the hair of the dog. What are you doing?
No, I'm good. Yeah, you ever wonder if this system we're under is not actually capitalism?
Well, I mean, no system is pure capitalism at this point in time. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, what we're doing here is we're trying to capitalize on the system that's at hand here. I think that... true capitalists don't necessarily have to have a capitalist government to capitalize on. I mean, the only time that capitalists can't capitalize when it's completely totalitarian, when the state has taken complete control and micromanaging every single thing in everybody's life. I'm talking about North Korea. I'm talking about some of these, Iran, for instance. These are the types of places that obviously aren't going to be conducive for capitalist profit. But in socialist nations, in nations that aren't particularly embracing capitalism wholeheartedly, there are still opportunities in there. If a capitalist is ambitious enough, innovative enough, and creative enough to be able to rake in profits and be able to generate, revenue nicely.
Well, a lot of people raked in a lot of revenue in so-called communist Russia. I wouldn't call them capitalists.
Okay, explain. We'll go ahead and explain what you're going to say.
I would define capitalism as a system where you can keep what you earn, and clearly that's not happening here in the USA.
Well, I'm keeping what I earn, sir. I mean, I'm making some serious capital here. I mean, I have a whole bunch of assets making serious money. I mean, I'm writing off this very broadcast here. I'm drinking, writing it off. It's a great life. What's your alternative?
Well, you're paying taxes, and you're not paying the same percentage of taxes as everybody else.
Well, no, I'm absolutely paying the same percentage of taxes as everybody else. I mean, what are you talking about? My personal income is taxed at the same rate as everybody else's personal income. It's the corporation that I happen to own that does, it's taxed on a different basis, and rightfully so. Well,
we have a progressive tax,
Oh, well, you're talking about at different rates. If you make a certain amount of money, you're at this tax bracket, that tax bracket, or are you referencing that?
Yeah, exactly. That's wealth redistribution.
I agree. But, we have to remember that this government was made for the people and by the people, and right now the people are a bunch of idiots, and all they want to do is collect, more and more money from the government, and, who's funding this crap? Capitalists. People that are actually got the balls to go out there and capitalize in this shaky economy and actually have to pay these taxes. So, I agree. I mean, what gives? I mean, I agree that we need a whole a whole new idea for for taxing people in general.
Well, we need to have a flat tax, period. That's the only solution.
Flat tax, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. No question.
All right, that's enough. Flat tax. Here we go again. All right, look, I get it. Flat tax, this and that, but you know what? What's unfortunate is that somebody's got to pay the government, man. Somebody's got to pay this crap. I don't want to get taxed. I feel raped, sir. I feel raped whenever I have tax dollars being taken out of my pocket. I feel like I'm being raped. Because I don't feel like I should be paying these taxes if I don't feel like this money should go to certain groups of people. I agree with you. But remember, this is America. This is America here. This isn't like the old days where people actually cared about work ethic and went out and made money and made a wage and made a living, and we can go ahead and go out and have these, tax-like utopian ideas, like flat taxes is one of them. Another one is get rid of the IRS and make a national sales tax, which I think is a ridiculous idea. The tax system's screwed up. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's bogus. It's sick. But what you have to do is realize that it's the law of the land, all right? It's the law of the land, and what we have to do is just express our particular capitalist motives through the red tape that is put forth by the law of the land in whatever country that we're in. I'm talking about all kinds of taxes, Jeannie. I mean, that we pay taxes for property. We pay taxes, for gasoline. We pay taxes for going to fish. If I want to go fishing out here, I got to go pay a goddamn fishing license, a hunting license, concealed handgun license. I got to get taxed to go get a goddamn license to drive. I'm being taxed every single time I purchase anything out here in America. I'm being taxed everywhere. It's disgusting. It's pathetic. So we need to curb these taxes. I agree with you, but it's a little bit more complicated than just saying, hey, everybody needs to do this and that. Remember, we've created so much bureaucracy and so much dependency by these American people, they're not going to take a, drastic renovation of the tax system, and let alone, look at the Greeks. The Greeks are pissed because their little socialist utopia can no longer exist because they can't afford that. And now they're so pissed they're killing officers in the street. They're, killing bankers, for Christ's sake. I mean, just imagine what Americans are going to do when they don't get their goddamn government cheese. Jesus Christ. 727, you're on the air.
So, let's go back on hold. I'll raise my hand again in a couple minutes.
All right, man. We'll go ahead and hang him up here. Hold on, 727. We'll go ahead and take you off here. You're just going to listen in? Yeah, he sounds like he's shopping or something. Thanks for listening in here. 000, you're on the air. Hey, 000, are you there or what? Say once again. Hey, Skype asshole, what you need to do is you need to realize that your connection sucks and no one can hear your little prank call, you stupid moron, you know? Go tell mommy that, the 14.4K modem or the net zero connection is not happening, all right? That's all there is to it. Let's keep going here. Victor Rez, what's your excuse?
Baby, 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 oh! Baby, 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 no!
You stupid, silly bastard. You see what I'm saying? This is what I get here. This is what I get. I'm giving, millions of dollars of information, teaching people how to make money, and this is what I get right here. A bunch of assholes, playing, some third-rate music on the microphone like we all give two rats' asses, Good God. Anyway, folks, like I said, the markets, there was sell-off in today's equities markets. There was an increase in gold, an increase in silver, increase in oil. Make those damn plays. Don't be a milky liquor and just sit there and say, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I'm just going to sit back. I mean, you know what's really sad, folks, is that even though I'm spelling it out for people, even though I'm telling people how to make some serious capital, how to be, a corporate mogul, how to be able to do these things, these people aren't doing it. You know what they want? They want more government assistance. That's what I'm saying. People are useless at this point in time. They're becoming useless. They're becoming useless, for Christ's sake. And all they want to do is just sit on their fat asses, and they don't care if they live in squalor. They don't care if they look like, ghetto-fied piece of crap. They don't care. They don't care. Let me tell you, folks, the reason I had to sell my house that I used to live in, folks, that I did the true conservative radio show for about 5 years at, the reason I had to sell my house is because I started seeing these ghetto-fied pieces of crap move into my neighborhood. I mean, they move into my neighborhood. Some bimbo who shitted out 8 kids. She moves in because she's able to get a housing voucher program and to be able to accumulate enough government assistance through all the programs that she applies for and gets approved for, not to mention all the child support that she gets each month. She's able to go out and get a house in my neighborhood. She gets a house in my neighborhood. Now, does this bimbo, does she up her game? Does she, kind of bring herself up to the new class that she's able to afford now that the PO in America, we're, getting a little bit of a lift here? I mean, is she trying to act like the class that she is now living amongst? Absolutely not. No, she had little teenage kids out there who were, not even old enough to drink, sipping on 40 ounces, puffing on Philly blunts, for Christ's sake, tagging up the neighborhood. Here, this is an upper-class neighborhood that I lived in, out there in Leander, for Christ's sake. I got these goddamn idiots trying to create a ghetto scene, trying to create some kind of, ghetto boy, hey, I'm coming straight out of Compton kind of scene out there, just because they live there. It's disgusting. It's horribly disgusting, and this is why I'm saying, folks, this is America here. This is America. People don't want to work. People don't want to work. People don't want to save up money like I'm saying that capitalists need to do. They don't want to obtain assets. They don't want to think. They don't want to think. Thinking makes these simplistic morons' heads hurt. It makes their heads hurt to think, folks. I kid you not. I mean, why don't you go up to anybody? Any kind of social arena you're in, go up to anybody and ask them a very complicated question. Ask them a question that's critical, where they have to kind of dig into that stupid mush they call a brain and actually have to spark some synapses in there. They're going to be stupid morons. You understand what I'm saying? And there's nothing they can do about it. Nothing. That's what I'm saying, folks. I mean, us capitalists, there's only few and far between. There's only a few of us out here, folks. And we need to realize that we're a special breed. And we need to realize that we're better than all these other schmucks that just want to sit here with their hands out saying, come on, baby, I need more government assistance. I need more of your tax dollars, baby, because of my kids, baby. You're not understanding, baby. My kids, baby. My kids. That's what I'm saying, folks. We're turning into goddamn junkyard America. Yeah, that's right. We're turning into junkyard America, baby.
That's right, baby. We're turning into junkyard America. They just my kids. My kids, baby. My kids. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
That's right. Welcome to junkyard America, folks. This is it. I hope you appreciate it. You people brought this into us. You know, this is a new junkyard America. A junkyard. Meow. Junkyard America, folks. That's what we live in. 646-652-4869 is the number to call. Let's take some more callers. 727. Are you there?
I'm here, Ghost. Hey,
What's going on?
Another category of people that are falling into that sitting on the sidelines. They're like the caller that called you earlier. Your quasi-crypto libertarians that because we don't have 100% freedom, I'm just going to sit over here and not work and blog and sit in my mom's basement. And because Obama's in, we can't, it's hopeless. And you've got a whole class of conservatives who've been sitting around doing nothing, haven't been making any money because they think the world's coming to an end.
I agree. I mean, it's total lunacy, and you've got these so-called conservative mouthpieces feeding into this crap, like Sarah Bimbo Palin and all these other nut jobs that are feeding in. There's no type of decent discourse going on when it relates to the political aspects of this country. That's why I've completely eliminated the whole political aspect from my psyche, and I am just a pure capitalist. So no matter who's elected, no matter what happens, I mean, we have to worry about how we're going to capitalize and make some capital.
I'm about 90% of the way where you're at right now. And, people say, well, we're going to become like Europe. Well, you know what? Over the last 50 years, there's a bunch of people who've made a ton of money living in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, look at Haraj, Mohammed Al-Fayed, who unfortunately he lost his son because his son was banging the princess. But still, look at him. I mean, he was able to go into socialist Europe, socialist England as an Arab, go in there and make one of the biggest stores in the world, if I'm not mistaken. Haraj, I believe, is one of the biggest stores in the world, and he's a millionaire, multi-millionaire, or billionaire, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Whether you have 100% freedom in a country or whether you have 50% freedom in a country, you're still going to have to work your butt off to make some money. So you don't sit around because you don't like the current political climate and do nothing and not invest your money, and not use your, you get out there and you stand for 3 hours and hold a sign about health care, but you didn't do any research to see the companies that were going to benefit from Obamacare.
Yeah, no kidding. As a matter of fact, I've advised people to invest in a couple of healthcare stocks that are capitalizing off of this Obamacare, and these particular ones that I'm saying to invest in, they're going to be good no matter what. I mean, if you want to truly reform healthcare, why don't we just take the insurance companies out as a factor in general? The only people that should be paying insurance are the healthcare providers in case they do some kind of malpractice, and even then we have to have some kind of tort reform because that's getting ridiculous. I read about some broad who, she was supposed to have like 2 teeth extracted out of her mouth because, I don't know, something happened, whatever. She got like 5 or 6, 7 of them taken out, and they awarded this woman like $25 million for this crap. I mean, this is just unbelievable. This is what's ruining the healthcare system. If we just privatize it and just let individuals do what they want to do, and allow practitioners charge what they want to charge, we have a model for this. It's the plastic surgery industry, the cosmetic surgery industry, and look at how fast the cosmetic surgery industry has innovated itself. There's so many cosmetic procedures because there's money. There's the insurance companies don't have their paws in it, and if we want true reform, in my view, why don't we just get rid of the insurance companies? But of course, nobody wants to talk about that. So.
Yeah. Hey, flip side to your OIL ETF. At some point, you're going to want to look at DNO, which is the antithesis of what you're doing right now. But at some point, when you start thinking that oil has peaked or bubbled or whatever, the DNO is it's an ETF, but it's actually a short fund on oil. So you could do the exact opposite of what you're doing now.
Oh, interesting, man. I'm looking into that right now. What is it? DNO.
DNO, and it tanked today, which it's supposed to do, tanked today after, what oil did today. And you can see how far it went down, I think 3% maybe or something like that. But at some point, everybody's going to be in, and it's not going to be a capacity issue. The thing that's driving oil right now is just you don't know which crazy Muslim's going to blow themselves up over in the Middle East right now. But
I'm very surprised that we haven't seen anything of that nature in the Middle East. I'm really surprised. Thank fate that we haven't, because we would see mass hysteria throughout the globe. But you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, but at some point, I think you're going to see NATO. You're seeing U.S. positioning themselves around Libya. At some point, somebody's going to secure the oil, and when that starts to take shape and form, I think you're going to have a lot of new players in the oil industry. You're going to have a lot more capacity than you do now, because when prices go up, everybody wants a piece, and it attracts entrepreneurs. And of course, if I knew when, I'd be a zillionaire. But at some point, short oil is going to be the name of the game. I don't think we're there yet.
Absolutely, no. That's a very good play that you just mentioned, man. Good play. What were you going to say?
No, that's it. But if you put me on hold, I'll listen to the rest of your show, man.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate that play. Let me go ahead and take a look at that. The caller was suggesting an ETF called United States Short Oil Fund, DNO symbol. Right now the price is about $38.12, and just as he said, it tanked today. It was down 3.10%, down $1.22. But once again, the investment seeks, and I'm going to say the fund summary. It's an ETF, I believe. It is an ETF. It says the investment seeks to replicate net expenses and inverse percentage changes of the spot price of light sweet crude oil delivered to Cushing, Oklahoma. It will be measured by the change in the price of futures contract on light sweet crude oil as traded on the NYMEX. That is the near month contract to expire, except when the near month contract is within 2 weeks of expiration. In which case the futures contract will be the next month contract to expire, less expenses. So I know there's a lot of complicated language in there, but inevitably, as what the caller suggested, that these people are short. They're betting against oil. They're not betting for oil or for the increase of oil. These people are actually betting against the price of oil. So whenever you think, as a speculator, as an investor that's listening to this, whenever you feel that oil is topping itself out, these types of ETF, these types of plays are the place to go to when it comes to diversifying your portfolio on the fly. But thanks for the caller, man. Real appreciate it, 727. Thank you very much. 408, you're on the air. Area code 408.
Ghost, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on? There you go. Is that Goofy Bone?
Yeah, what's up, Ghost? How you doing today, buddy?
What's going on, man? Nothing much. Just cracked open a Negra, kicking back, thinking about possibly shooting a couple of shots of some Crown Royal Reserve.
Yeah, that's the life right there, Ghost. Nothing but a true capitalist. Hey, Ghost, I purchased some. Remember, I told you it was quite some time ago. I told you about the companies that built the prisons out here in California. The market number is GEO.
Here, let me pull that up. Go ahead.
Yeah, pull that up. I have a Charles Schwab account, but the only reason why I went to Charles Schwab because they have an excellent-looking bimbo in there that I've been trying to get my dirty hands on.
I know how that goes, man. I hear you.
Well, anyways, I wanted to be a capitalist today, so I went and got 1,000 shares of that stock. And she thought it was a bad move. Now, well, since I always listen to you, Ghost, and you're the god of the stock trade in my eyes. Well, do you think that's a good move, a bad move? Because I'm going to plan on going long term on this one.
Oh, man, I don't know, man. I mean, you remember, right now, the state of California can barely balance its budget. We're going to see an increase in taxes there, I believe. There's going to be an increase in state taxes. Is that what Brown's proposing?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. An increase in state taxes. If I'm not mistaken, didn't we see also Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of let off a couple of people that were in these prisons and when they were closing down? I just don't see a lot of money for, investment into prisons, especially in California. I think they tapped themselves out when it came to, creating so much bureaucracy within the prison system. And I think at this point in time, because they have to cut their books, they're no longer going to have to be, they're not going to be able to afford to be able to pursue these, weird, criminalistic ventures like 3 strikes and you're out, and, they've already laxed their laws against marijuana. So, I mean, you look at these lax in laws, you obviously realize that these cops are not out there to, bust some heads and throw people in jail anymore. And, the only people that are going to be in jail are real serious killers and, psychos. And there's really not that many of them. I know there's a lot of armed robbers and stuff, but to be honest with you, now that weed is kind of legal out there in California, you don't really see too many violent crimes out there. I mean, they're still there because there's a lot of population. But for the most part, what you see is a lot of petty theft, a lot of, stealing cars, a lot of, stuff like that. You see an occasional armed robbery, but you're not seeing too many of these crimes on an abundant basis to where it'll be like it was previous. I mean, California was the king of prisons at one point because of the 3 strikes you're outlaw. Do they still have the 3 strikes they're outlaw there, man?
Yes, they do.
Well, at some point, mark my words, they're going to get rid of that. Mark my words. And the only reason that they're going to get rid of it is because they have to. I mean, there's just too much money in law enforcement, too much money in pursuing those types of ridiculous endeavors in the criminal department. I mean, they're going to have to do it. So that's why I would say it's a bad play, man. I don't see much investment going on the state level because that's who invests in prisons. The state has to pay an independent organization that bids for the prison to be built. For instance, the state puts out a bid and says, hey, we need a new prison built over here, or we need somebody to build this particular piece of real estate into a prison, and we'll pay them so much per inmate, and this is how these types of deals work. And I just don't think that there's that much growth in that stock. I mean that's my call also.
No, I listen to you all the time, Ghost, because everything you seem to say, thank God for archives, because people could fucking slap themselves in the face and say, I should have listened to Ghost. But hey, a Mexican out here in Northern California listened to Ghost, and look how much money he's making. So come on, people.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, I'm glad you're making capital out there, man. I mean, to show everybody up out there, man. You know what guys like you should be doing, man, like ex-gangsters and stuff? Once you start making capital, do what like these rappers do. Go right into white society and have them, have to take your sight, like the tattoos and stuff. But the thing is, though, you don't want to be too jerky about it. But at the same time, you know how Puff Daddy is. He goes and has parties in the Hamptons, and I mean, this is what you need to do because let me tell you, capitalists aren't a certain class of people. They're just people. They're individuals with the same objective, and that's to capitalize and to make money. It doesn't matter how they dress or how they look. If they're making capital and they're on the same frame of mind, they're meant to be there. Now, remember, the thing with being a capitalist, just because you're making money today doesn't mean you're going to be making money tomorrow. So even if they're fly-by-night new money, and you don't think that they're worth being in the same arena that you're in, at some point that their luck is going to run out if they're not a true capitalist, and they're going to be back in the poorhouse, just like we've seen in a countless of stories in the past, when it relates to people.
Exactly, Ghost. But if you can, just leave me on the line because I'm over here cleaning up my house real quick. So,
all right, man.
Thanks for all your good wisdom, Ghost. And if you think nobody appreciates you, I appreciate you, Ghost, and so does my friends. I turned my friends from idiotic liberals into fucking capitalists That's all they talk about nowadays. It's either
that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what
capitalize.
we need. We need more guys like you and your friends because that's the way the world should be, man. We make the world go round. We're the ones that make the investments. We're the ones with the balls. We're the ones paying the taxes. I mean, we should have more of authority out here than any of these other schmucks that are just being detriments and collecting entitlements. So good for you,
Exactly.
man.
All right, man. Go side. Much love.
No problem, man. You take it easy there, Goofy Bone. I'll keep you on hold,
Cheers.
man. Thanks for calling up. Cheers to you, man. I'm drinking, man.
All right, cheers, Ghost.
All right, man. You take it easy. It's Goofy Bone there, an avid listener of the broadcast. Obviously making some money listening to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, folks. Let me tell you, as I've said, and I'm not just saying this, pulling this out of my derriere. I'm not just pulling this out of my derriere here. I'm serious. Listening to the True Capitalist Radio Show and listening to Ghost is like making freaking money. Do you understand? We're already 10 minutes into the second hour of the True Capitalist Radio program. I am your host, the man they call Ghost. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. If you're listening live, please retweet the program, blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Spread it around like wildfire, and go out there and make sure that everybody you know knows that we're on Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and tell them to come out here and tune in with us. Tell them to come back here and kick back with us in the chat room and make some freaking money, for Christ's sake. Remember, the more capitalists there are, the better off society will be, That's just how it is. Anyway, let's take some more callers here. If you got something to say, 646-652-4869. We're talking about the sell-off in the equities markets and how the equities markets reacted to Ben Bernanke's testimony to the Senate Banking Committee. Ben Bernanke basically saying that the rise in commodities and the rise in oil could curb the recovery. I was basically saying that from day one of this program, but who's looking? Anyway, I get no respect. 646-652-4869. Let's take some more callers here. 914, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Ghost? I called you yesterday.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm the one who does like dancing and stuff, Hey,
what can we call you? What's your handle on the internet here? What's it?
It's Soy. Just Soy.
It's what? Soy?
Yeah, Soy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing. Just fucking chilling up here in New York. And you're on the subject of taxes, and I just fucking thought of this shit that's been bothering me lately. And, I don't know. I just was wondering if I could, address it and, ask your opinion about it.
Go for it.
All right. Let me just first say, it's where I live in a county in New York where fucking taxes are soaring, and it's just me and my brother and my parents, and combined, it was before I moved out and, started making a lot of money on my own, but, my parents, they make over $250,000 a year, but, that doesn't mean we're rich. We're middle class, and actually my parents are struggling, falling behind on payments, and, there's a lot of stress, and the thing is, here taxes are fucking so high. Property taxes, sale taxes. I mean, for example, a pack of cigarettes, guess how much it costs? Guess.
I'm thinking, since you're in New York, what, $10?
Yep, $10 to $12.
Yeah, I figured, yeah.
That's bullshit, right? So, I mean, how, a couple years ago when Obama first started, he had that little socialist tax plan where he was we're going to increase taxes on people making over $200,000 a year, decrease on these people, that.
Certainly, yeah, no, I remember. I mean, we're implementing that now. I agree. I know what you're talking about exactly.
Well, they're implementing it here up in New York, and I'm just telling you about my personal situation. I actually have to help my parents out here, and I'm independent, doing my own thing, but I still am attached to my parents because I have to help them. And, as if it's not bad enough, they're adding more taxes. And, my parents, they do make, they're in the small margin of people who do make, over that and, aren't really rich, So they're about to add more taxes to us. And I just think that's totally ridiculous because both my parents have degrees and, my dad has a master's, and I just think it's ridiculous because, they work hard all their lives. They came from shit. and they work their way up. They have a small business, and that we're still not rich, but they worked hard. And I just think it's ridiculous that they're going to add on more taxes to people who worked their asses off. And
well, remember, you have to remember that those taxes that you're getting, that's state taxes. That's not federal taxes. I mean, a little bit of the federal taxes are hitting, obviously, your parents who make over $250,000. But remember, you have to realize that the state of New York is implementing these high taxes because, just like every state, they need the money. And you have to realize that there is a different level of taxes in every state that you live in. That's why you have so many people moving to Texas, because we don't have state taxes. You just pay your federal income tax, and we've got some sales tax in whatever municipality that you happen to be in, and that's about it. We still have real estate tax, obviously. If you have property, you're going to pay property tax, but it's very low. It's not very high. And this is what I tell people that live in situations like yourself, not just in New York, but in Illinois, in California, where you just have taxes galore that are just eating you up. You could make $1 million and still not be rich in some of these markets. What I advise people to do is go into other markets that, maybe if you move there, you're going to get a job that doesn't pay you as much, but you have to remember the tax bracket system. Just like that individual who called up earlier talked about how we have a sliding scale kind of a tax system. Well, just like I advised everybody out here, just on a simple scale, let's say you make $450 at a job. Well, you're going to be taxed at a very low rate. As a matter of fact, even if you have no dependents, even if you claim nothing, $450, you may get $30 or $40 taken out of your check. Once you go over that $500 mark, all of a sudden that $30 or $40 turns into $110 or something their equivalent, taken out of your check. So what happens? The more you make on one given check, the more money's taken out of your pay. And you combine, and that's just federal taxes. You combine that with state taxes and city taxes and anything else that happens to be in the mix. That's why, individuals like your parents that are, making, what seems to be pretty good money, $250,000, they're barely struggling middle class because they have to deal with these ridiculous taxes. And, all I can say is that maybe y'all should consider, going to another state that doesn't have these problems, that doesn't have, these budget problems where they have to raise taxes on the people so that they can get their books in line and that sort of thing. That's really what's screwing up most of the states in the country, is the fact that you have all these budgetary problems where they have to increase taxes on people so that they can keep back up with their budget and keep the government running. So I hear you.
I just thought it was ridiculous because, the harder you work, or, I guess the more implying that the harder you work, the more money you make, but implying also that the harder you work, the more you have to pay in the long run. I don't know. I just thought that's really ridiculous.
Well, yeah, and remember, it's based on the state. Remember, it's based on the state. Each state's different. Remember, the federal government's going to take theirs. You make a check, they're going to take the Social Security, Medicaid, and there's a couple other things they take in there. But, it's the state that really taxes people hard. The state of New York is what's really taken out of your pocket. Yep. It's not necessarily the federal government. The federal government takes so much, but if you have a bad state income tax, that's what's really going to screw people up. And, in my personal opinion, I always tell people, get out of there. And even if you get a job that doesn't pay you as much as you did back in in your state of origin, believe it or not, because, we had, like in Texas out here, people are amazed that, they move from New York, Los Angeles. They're amazed they can get a 3-4 bedroom house out here for about $250,000, and it's like 3,000 square feet. They can't believe it, with a yard and their own private. They can't believe this stuff, but you know why they can't believe it? Because we don't have unions, we don't have any of the problems out here in Texas that most states have. You don't hear about Texas having a budget problem. You don't hear about Texas having these types of tax issues because we don't tax our people. And that's what you need to realize, since you're helping out your folks, since you're making a family thing. What you need to do is maybe initiate an idea to your folks into believing, or into saying that maybe we need to get the hell out of New York, maybe we need to go somewhere else. I mean, let's entertain, research whatever state you want to go into and make some money. I mean, you can take your profession anywhere and make some serious capital.
Yep, that's for sure.
So, yeah, I hear you on the taxes, man. I mean, it sucks, but, consider leaving and, consider getting some jobs elsewhere, and I think it would be better off. You'd probably make more money in the long run.
Yeah, all right. Well, I got to get ready for work and, get shit done.
No problem, man. Hey, do you have a blog or something or anything you have to plug?
No, I don't really. I mean, I don't go online much, just listen to your show and, a little bullshit here and there, but not really, no.
All right, well, no, hey, we appreciate you listening, man. Thank you for listening in.
All right, thanks.
Take it easy.
You too, bye.
All right, hopefully, you take my advice and you realize, hey, maybe you need to leave New York because of the state taxes and go out and, go somewhere else. That's why I'm saying for you people that are getting, screwed with these state taxes, get out of there. Nobody's keeping you there in the state. When the state runs out of people to tax, then they're going to realize that, man, maybe we messed up. I mean, out here in Texas, we don't have unions, we don't have high taxes, we don't have, any of this crap, any of these problems. All right? I mean, we don't. Okay, look, this past year we went over the budget a little bit. We got a $9 billion and change reserve system that we can dive into on rainy days. It's called the Rainy Day Fund, mind you. I mean, we're doing things out here. We're a pro-business state. That's why everybody who's coming out here from all over the country, they're capitalizing because they're taking all the money that they were able to accumulate by selling off their assets in their states. They're taking it over here in Texas and can't believe how far their money goes out here. I mean, it's a market. When you don't have unions and you don't have any kind of obstacles that are going to prohibit business from prospering, things are going to go down in price by default. I mean, people are amazed how cheap things are out here in Texas. People are amazed how property is so cheap in Texas. Let me tell you, this is why I'm saying, folks, it's all about how your government deals with business that's going to make where you live a better place. And if you come down here to Austin, Texas, baby, where the average median income for Austin, Texas is $80,000 a year. Come and get some of that, baby. All right? Anyway, let's take some calls here. 646-652-4869. 213, you're on the air.
Yeah, baby, it's the first of the month, and I just took my food stamps and got a bunch of ribs in a couple hours. Baby, my kids not going to be hungry anymore. And that's how I'm living large, baby. That's how I do. That's how we get down here in the 213. We buy ribs, we fire up the grill, and we feed our children because we are true capitalists, go.
Stop choking that goddamn kid. Stop choking that kid.
I ain't choking my kid, baby. My kid's about to eat. My kid's about to eat good. We gonna give him some ribs and some Similac, and that's gonna put him to sleep, yo. It's about to be a good day in the 213.
Yeah, and that's how you do it in the 213, how you collect entitlements and you mooch off the taxpayer. Is that what you do?
Baby, we just make our money. Are you mad? Does that make you mad, Ghost? We make our money.
You're goddamn right it makes me mad. It makes me mad that losers like you could sit here and profit off of our taxpaying dollars, for Christ's sake. Our taxpaying dollars. You're goddamn right it makes me mad. You moron. Sitting here saying, hey, yeah, baby, I'm getting my money from the first of the month, baby. It's the first of the month. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Wake up, wake up. You're goddamn right I'm mad. Don't you understand that I've got true capitalists? I've got true capitalists listening to my broadcast that don't appreciate ass clowns calling up, acting like a bunch of losers, rubbing it. I'm talking about rubbing it in the face of capitalists, saying that you're a goddamn moocher of tax systems. And that makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach, and you know what? It's the same asshole out there at the 213. I'm telling you, California is the worst. It's the worst!
It's the worst when it comes to these goddamn scumbag, milky-licking pieces of nipple clamp-loving, butt-plug up-the-ass-looking moochers that are out here extorting the taxpayer. Extorting the damn taxpayer. Let me tell you something right now, folks. Every time I got to pay taxes, I feel like I'm getting raped. You understand that? I feel like that one Jodie Foster character in that one movie where she gets gangbanged in the bar by a bunch of drunk ass clowns. That's how I feel every time I'm taxed, for Christ's sake. Let me calm down, folks. I'm sorry. Let me calm down. Let me take a deep breath here. There we go. Let me take a chug here. I'm out of beer. Hey, we got any more negras up in here? For Christ's sake, got another negra? Yeah, we got another negra up here. Let me take the last chug of this. That's what I'm talking about. Let me see here. We got another negra going on over there. What a goddamn negra! Here we go. Here's another negra. Here we go. All you idiots can sit here. You can try to, make me angry, do whatever the hell you want. But the bottom line is I'm making cash, baby. All right? I'm making capital. All right? If you idiots don't want to listen, if you idiots don't want to sit here and listen to Ghost, that's your problem. That ain't my problem. All right? That ain't my goddamn problem, boy. Anyway, before I open up another negra, I got some Crown Royal Reserve, Special Reserve here. Pretty expensive stuff. I'm gonna take a shot of this. Got a nice looking shot glass I got from Vegas. Was it a couple of years ago when I went out there on July 4th? Which they don't celebrate July 4th. They don't celebrate it that well over there. But who cares? I was gambling. I was getting some gambling going on, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot of this Crown Royal Reserve while I'm drinking this goddamn Negra. So let's fill up the shot, shall we? There we go. Got a shot going on here. Woo! That's what I'm talking about, baby. And let me tell you, future DMV is in there. He knows what I'm talking about. If I was in a goddamn rooftop bar out here in Austin, Texas, I'd be puffing a damn Opus S cigar, or if I could get one, a Cuban. You know it, and I know it. Even though Cubans are illegal, I'm not promoting Cuban cigar consumption, but goddamn, that virgin, sun-grown, goddamn soil-based tobacco, it's the greatest. Anyway, I am going to take a shot of this goddamn Crown Royal Special Reserve. If you happen to be drinking some libations today, it's a happy hour time. Cheers, baby. Cheers. Let me go ahead and take a... Well, let's pretend like we're rubbing glasses together here. There we go. Cheers, baby. Cheers. Let me go ahead. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and open up the Negra. Opening up that Negra, folks, and we're kicking back. Let me tell you, like I said, I know there was a sell-off in the equities markets today, folks, but, I'm diversified, baby. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about Muammar Gaddafi. He was interviewed by Christian Amanpour, stating that, there are no people that are in his country that are opposing him, and that the footage that's coming out of Libya is basically the supporters of him that are in the streets cheering. I mean, this guy's completely delusional. He's a complete idiot. Anyway, even though Muammar Gaddafi has hired African mercenaries to go into the country and basically take back the country for him, the rebels out there in Libya have been able to win the battle in Tripoli. Tripoli is, a major stronghold. They've already got a few cities out there, so it's definitely a major revolution going on in Libya. The thing that is just making me a little apprehensive is that who's going to take over from here? I mean, basically, this Egyptian idiotic, chaotic nonsense that helps spawn most of this crap. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, what did it do? It brought in the military. And what's the military doing? It's allowing the Iranian government, that theocratic piece of crap, to allow its naval fleet to go into the Suez Canal, which anybody who knows international politics knows that that's, very precarious. And, nobody's talking about these sorts of things, I mean, I don't understand why back in the time when Egypt was like, oh, look, it's the Egypt revolution, look, I mean, all these people that were crying for this Egyptian revolution, when I knew it was nothing but a chaotic episode that was spawned by Whale Ghanem and all these other assholes who manipulated the social networking systems to a simplistic and primitive populace that basically spurred this whole goddamn uprising in Egypt. They didn't know what they wanted. I mean, the only thing that guided these people in Egypt was the fact they wanted Mubarak out. He had been in there for 30 years, and that's the only thing that guided them. What was the replacement? Nothing. Did it have any kind of intellectual foundation? Did they have any idea where they wanted Egypt to go? No, absolutely not. So what happened? The military took control of the country, and we all know military juntas, So anyway, 646-652-4869 is the number to call. Let me tell you something, folks. I'm going to take a break here, but before I take a break, I would like everybody to know that I'm going to start playing songs now. I'm going to start playing songs that are completely independent. I'm tired of, bringing people into the new frame of mind when it comes to music. I'm tired of people exposing people to new mainstream artists. I mean, screw mainstream artists, Screw mainstream artists, for Christ's sake. I mean, let's bring up some of these independent people that are out here that deserve some credit. Now, I know that independent music obviously doesn't have the production credibility like studio-based recording studios, but hey, I want more independent people making money, man. I'm telling you, I want more independent people making money. So I am going to do my part in hopes of spreading the word about anybody that I can find, even if it's obnoxious, even if it's weird, even if it's, something that's just kind of off the wall. It doesn't matter. I am going to promote independent artists, and if you like it, I want you to go out there and download it. Now, the artists that I'm going to play today, these are artists that you can actually download their whole album, man. They're under the Creative Commons license, where you can go out and, kind of just download their music if you really like it. I mean, they just want, they want the credit. I mean, basically, they want the credit, and potentially, if you like them, I'm sure they want some goddamn concerts. So anyway, folks, I know that we've got a lot of gamers out here because we got a lot of kids. A lot of kids going on, and I'm glad that the kids are listening in, folks. I mean, that's what makes me so dangerous. Believe it or not, you should see the emails I get from people that say, you're a dangerous man. You're a dangerous man telling the kids all about the Social Security and telling them about that. What are you doing? I mean, you're an older person. You shouldn't be telling them. Well, you know what? I don't give a damn. So I know that we got a lot of gamers up in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a song by an artist. Now, this is a very peculiar artist. I'm not saying I like this artist, but I found him and I thought it was kind of amusing. Now, all those people in Canada out there, because I know I got a lot of listeners in Canada. I know there's people that get pissed off at me because I talk garbage about Canada, that Canada is nothing but a bunch of socialist, unoriginal, non-personal bastards, that sort of thing. Well, I'm going to play a song that basically shows you where, what they're doing in Canada with their spare time. I'm going to show you what they're doing in Canada with their spare time whenever they're out there collecting a damn government check. Now, this next song that I'm about to play, some people are going to think of it as the most obnoxious piece of garbage on the face of the planet. Other people are going to be like, oh my God, that's cool. This song is by an artist who's mixing, what is it, 8-bit gaming sounds. 8-bit gaming sounds with death metal. I kid you not. This guy is taking sounds that he gets from the goddamn old Nintendo and the old Sega, game players from the 80s. He's taking these 8-bit sounds and, rearranging them to where it sounds like a death metal song. So I hope that you people appreciate this. This is from Norin Rad. Norin Rad from Canada. This is what Canadian people are doing with their spare time, folks. So don't bitch at me. And before we play this, let me go ahead and take a swig here. That's what I'm talking about. This is from Norin Rad, Norrin Rad, R-A-D-D. And the song is called Becoming Superluminal. Becoming Superluminal. So I hope you appreciate it. This is 8-bit Nintendo type of audio mixed with death metal. So enjoy. Norin Rad, Becoming Superluminal. You can actually get this for free if you like it, and this whole album and all that crap. So go ahead. Hey, DJ, can you turn that on, please? All right, we're going to turn it on right now. Go ahead.
listening to Ghost on True Capitalist Radio. True Capitalist Radio.
Yeah, I hope you appreciated that, folks. I know it's a little eclectic, but that's what they're doing out there in Canada. What you heard there was Norinrad becoming superluminal. I hope that y'all appreciated that. I know Billy D. Williams just entered. I know there's a lot of people just entering in for the first time. What we were listening to is independent music. That's what Ghost is going to try to do. He's going to try to extend a hand to independent artists that are out there trying to be creative, that are trying to get their music out there known. These are people that are in the common creative licenses. So if you like that, if you like Norinrad, which was a 8-bit kind of chip Nintendo Sega sounds mixed with death metal, although I thought it was kind of a quaint little concept. You can go ahead and download more of his stuff at, you just look him up, Norinrad. That's Norinradd. Anyway, folks, 646-652-4869 is the number to call, folks. I hope you're appreciating the program. Let me go ahead and take a chug here, and let me go ahead and kick back with you. Hopefully that you have some kind of libation, you're chilling with me, and all that good stuff. Here, let me take a chug here. Oh, yeah. Anyway, we were talking about how Libya and the Libyan president is basically, living in some kind of la-la land, believing that the people that are out there actually protesting are on his side. He's denying reports that he is bombing his own people, even though we know that's a fact from reports that are coming out there from independent sources. We also know that he has hired African mercenaries to go in and kill the people. Just go in and kill the damn people. So this Libyan leader, he's, I don't know where the hell he's living in. He's in another frame of mind. But he doesn't believe that the people that are out there protesting against him are actually protesting against him. He's saying they're for him. And the international community is finally calling for his ouster. They're asking him to step down. Libya is going to be the next country that's going to be under, well, hopefully a better form of government, but who the hell knows, folks? I mean, remember, I believe in the Chinese definition of crisis. It consists of two elements, danger and opportunity. And this crisis could be an opportunity for some people that are, considerably nefarious as it relates to their views on capitalism and America in general. But I don't want to throw negative vibes that direction. I want to think positively. 646-652-4869. I also want to talk about the Iranian Revolution, folks. Let's not forget the Iranians. I know that we're, paying so much attention to all these other revolutions, but the Iranians have been, getting slaughtered and mowed down, getting, human atrocities implemented upon the populace. Back in 2009, when it was opposing Ahmadinejad's election, these people have gone out. They want democracy. They want capitalism. I mean, this is a country that wants capitalism. There are 5 people that are under the age of 25 years old for every one person that's over the age of 25 years old. So we're dealing with an older generation. We're dealing with an older populace out there in Iran, and the reason I'm so sympathetic to their cause is because, folks, they want capitalism, and not to mention that Iran is what spawned all this Islamic fundamentalism. The Iranian Islamic State is what made these people that are terrorists today make believe that it's possible to take over a country and implement some kind of Sharia law or implement some kind of Islamic state. And now that you have the people, the population that are living under that Islamic rule, under this theocratic Islamic idea, rebelling against the hypocrisy that is that theocratic authority is beautiful. And I don't understand why the American people, and not just the American people, but the American government aren't helping the opposition in Iran. We should be helping these people clandestinely. We should be either, shipping out weapons to these people because, folks, they've confiscated all the guns in Iran. These people are just getting shot in the streets in peaceful protest. They're not like Libya, how the Libyan rebel forces were able to somehow get armed all of a sudden. That ain't happening in Iran, that's why I'm saying, it makes me sick, It makes me sick. That's why I have so much compassion for the Iranian Revolution, because they want capitalism. They want capitalism. They don't want this Islamic theocratic crap, and I don't blame them. Back in 2009, folks, I was closely corresponding with the revolution in Iran. If you listen to me in the True Conservative radio program at the time, I was corresponding with them through email and voice chat. I was closely tied with this Iranian revolution. As a matter of fact, a lot of Iranians at the time, before they started highly regulating the internet in Iran, they were listening to the True Capitalist radio show. They were listening in. They were getting inspired by an American giving them compassion, giving them some recognition for their fight against this theocratic hypocrisy, and giving them kudos for them saying, hey, we want to embrace capitalism. They couldn't believe that because, folks, in Iran, the children out there are forced to believe. They're forced to say, as a matter of fact. They're forced to say, death to America, death to Israel, death to America, death to... right when they're born, right when they're in kindergarten, it's a part of their Pledge of Allegiance. And you have to think that after all this indoctrination, and they're looking at the world, because remember, this internet, what a beautiful invention. It interconnects us all. They're seeing the world from another perspective, and they're realizing, hey, we're missing out, for Christ's sake. We're missing out! And they want a little piece of that. Anyway, I don't want to bring that up for a little bit, folks. This is a free-format edition of the True Capitalist radio program. Once again, we mentioned in the beginning of the show there was a sell-off in the equities markets, and the reason was because Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke testified in front of the Senate Banking Committee and basically said that the high rise in energy costs and oil costs and in commodities costs could curb the recovery that we're supposed to be in. And if you'd have been listening to the True Capitalist radio show all this time, you would have known that ahead of time. As a matter of fact, you would have known that we were going to see an economic retraction. You would have known. You would have known because I told you that there was going to be an economic contraction starting springtime, going into the middle of the spring, extending into the summertime, or extending into the end of spring, going into summer. But once again, we're going to bounce back from this, folks. We've got a lot of American companies that are making lots of money. There's a lot of reasons to think that we're going to bounce back from this. But once again, it's still somewhat short-term. We got 2 years as capitalists to accumulate as much capital as we possibly can until these damn Bush tax cuts reset themselves. And once these Bush tax cuts reset themselves, folks, we're in some serious trouble. And not only are they going to reset themselves and people are going to have to pay 60 to 70% tax rates, but the cutting. They're cutting a little bit now. Look at what the teachers are doing in Madison, Wisconsin, all over the country. Look at what they're doing. Look at what kind of ruckus they're doing. Just imagine when they cut government cheese. Just imagine when they cut welfare and all this other crap, folks. It's going to be a serious predicament. Anyway, I want to hear from you, folks. 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. Let me go ahead and take some calls here. Is this Billy D. Williams?
Hey, it's Billy D. Ghost. How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, man? Good to hear from you. How you doing today, man?
Doing all right. I had a question going into the equities market if you had a moment.
Go for it, man.
Yeah, I was looking, and I do own, outside of the Intel and everything, I'm in a utilities company called NextEra Energy, or NEE is the ticker symbol on it.
All right.
But on it, I was looking today, and in pretty much all the utilities companies, I've noticed they've really, especially today, they took a took a hit, and I'm not worried short term, but I was just trying to get your thoughts on why you think they took such a hit, because, I guess kind of twofold on that. One, I know that whenever a utilities company, for instance, you could say, well, perhaps it's the oil, but the thing is that whatever price utilities companies are buying oil at, they're passing that on to the the payer of the power, the person who's paying the power bill at cost. So the person who's feeling that is the customer. But I guess I'm just trying to wrap my head around, other than the Bernanke information. Why do you think there was such a big sell-off, it seems like, today, unless it's just a knee-jerk reaction from people?
No, you know what, the reason that you see these types of sell-offs, and I'm looking at the chart on this, for 3 months, it's been a gradually gaining stock here. It's been a pretty good uphill. So obviously what's happening here is a sell-off on some of these people that bought it on the 52-week high. I believe it's the 52-week high. Let me look at a year chart on that. Are we at 52-week high? We're almost at 52-week highs, right?
It's pretty close. Yeah, it's a really good company as far as being the leader, as far as the liberals love it, the green technology and all that stuff. And the one guy just got appointed to the board, just like the guy from GE, Jeff Immelt.
Oh yeah, this is one of the companies. They're also on the board.
Yeah, he just got appointed to that committee as well. Find America jobs or whatever it is. I don't know.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, this looks like a pretty good long-term stock. The reason that we see a pretty big dip today, it's 2.42% on the downside today, was because people are selling off and they're putting their gains into other places. Once again, we talked about earlier in the program that, gold was over, $24 and change, or $23 and change. It was a lot of money in today's increase in the spike of oil, spike of gold. We also saw an increase in the spike of oil. And I think that right now everybody, not just in your stock, but in most stocks, with the exception of a few that had put out earnings today or had good news, people just took a dip today because people are selling off. It's been a high market. The people that bought in at probably, let me look at this chart. The people that bought in at around, let me see, the latest dip was, let me get that dip here. Was about, December 21st, and it was about 51.12 at that time. I'm sure people, are from that particular buying episode are probably cashing out at this point in time and taking the capital generated from those sales and putting it elsewhere. Remember, we're dealing with a very skittish market.
Sure.
And that's why you're seeing, every day, one day you'll see dramatic gains, the next day you'll see losses. And long term, you're going to be all right. Warren Buffett, we announced yesterday, this guy is bullish on America, and I'm bullish on America for the next 2 years. But once again, I wouldn't read too much into this. I'm looking into the stock right now. It seems like a very good value stock. Pays good dividends as well. I've been looking at here.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good value stock there, Bill.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other one, if I just have a second, the thing that I found interesting was that General Motors, they just came out, and I don't know if you touched on this earlier. I'm sorry, I came in kind of late, but even General Motors took a hit today, and I know some of that's due to the oil because people are a little worried about cars and stuff. But what is it, up 48% sales, or up 48%?
I know. I have no idea. Once again, this skittish investor market. I know it's dipped below what we suggested to buy it for. I'm still at a buy on that.
Oh, yeah.
There is no way that the government is going to allow GM to fail. Not to mention that the little stock that they have out, they don't even have that much stock. The stock is a very low market cap compared to, what the government has to make that stock price go up to before they sell off the rest of the holdings that the government is holding in stock of GM. GM has to go up to at least 58 and change for the government to break even on its investment in bailing out GM. And I, for one, don't believe that the government's going to allow this to be a failure.
No.
Because the Republicans and Democrats were both involved on this particular bailout. Not just this bailout, but a variety of different bailouts. And to be honest with you, the ones that are in the financial sector, the Goldman Sachs and, all these other people that got bailed out here, JP Morgans, Citigroups, all these people that got bailed out, it's starting to reap rewards, starting to reap dividends in the markets here. If you'd invested in those companies, just like Warren Buffett, invested in Lehman when everybody was getting out jumping ship, he invested a considerable chunk of cash, and he's made even more money on top of that. So when you look at big investors like that, you look at other economic indicators, you look at the fact that these companies are recapitalized with tax dollars. I mean, long term, these are all right stocks.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what's going on with GM. The investors are really skittish right now. It's a very volatile time to be in the market, but at the same time, I mean, if you're a long-term investor, I think there's some good stocks, especially GM right now. I think it's at the IPO or around the IPO price at this point in time. There's no way it's going to go any lower, and I think it's a good buy.
Yeah, Ghost, you and I both know, and a lot of people, I mean, the government, first of all, the government does not like competition. So come hell or high water, guess what? They're going to get their money back. So
you saw it. You saw it right when they invested in a GM. Remember that whole debacle about the Toyota pedal incident? And man, the media hyped on that because, of course, the media was bailed out by the government, so they're now in the cahoots with the government also. But they were hyping that, these are dangerous cars, it's ridiculous. I mean, it was a blatant, vulgar display of power, and I announced that back then when I was talking about this on True Conservative Radio.
Yep.
I announced that this is a vulgar display of power by the government showing that, they're just going to muscle out competition. And recently, I think it was 2 days ago, some Consumer Report organization released that there was no problem, with the pedal. Or it wasn't the problem like these people that were claiming that, I couldn't stop the pedal. I mean, I can't do it. A lot of these people were lying. And, they were completely redeemed. The Toyota people are completely redeemed when it came to that pedal sticking debacle, but, you're not going to hear that in mainstream media because, they want GM to be successful. And if you read into this, if you're like, hey, I'm an investor, I'm going to go in where everybody is going to artificially succeed a stock, I mean, that's the stock I want to be in for the long term. And then when I see the price point of about 50-something, 58, 50, 70, who the hell knows? Maybe I'll just, sell off at that point.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm going to need to do my own research on it, but I'm going to have to check it out. But yeah, you're right. It's right at the 52-week low, or when it initially came out at IPO. So that's another one.
I mean, it's making profit. It's giving its employee. I mean, not only is it making profits, but it's giving its employees, which are all union workers, because these damn liberal
UAW can't. Awful.
Yeah, they have to support the unions. That was the whole point of them getting elected. Well, they got a humongous part of profit sharing. I mean, each one of those employees got $4,000 extra on average.
Oh wow!
In profit sharing, so. I'm telling you, I mean, I don't know what the investors are thinking about GM, but this is a skittish time. That's why, some of these calls that I've made, they haven't come up to expectation because it's hard to read these goddamn investors' minds, man. I mean, some of these people are very skittish right now, man.
Ghost, you're making the right calls. I'll say that to anyone out there who's questioning what you're making the right calls. When you're looking at your logic and everything, sometimes you just got to wait on it. Like we said, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So I definitely appreciate it.
No problem. Hey, do you have a blog or something you want to plug, man?
Don't got the blog, man. I got to get it going. I'm sitting here, I guess I'm playing around with my pink pecker shaft too right now. But
you don't have anything going on, man. I want to plug something from you. You got some pretty good insight.
I'll get it going. I'm outside of this, I work pretty much all the time. So. Just trying to make the cash, but
no, I hear you.
I'll get that blog going, and then I'll plug it. I guarantee it. Next time I call, how about that? I'll have a blog.
No problem, Billy D. Man, you always provide good insight, and good luck to you. Hopefully, you prosper generously.
Thanks, Ghost. You too. Take it easy.
All right, man. You take it easy. That was Billy D. Williams, folks, an avid listener of the True Capitalist broadcast. We want to thank him for his patronage, and he had a couple of questions about a few stocks that he's invested in, folks. We were looking at his NEE, which is Nextra Energy Incorporated. And, he was just having a question on why the stocks were pulling back on that particular stock. Even though the numbers look good, everything looks good. Once again, this is a skittish market where investors are reacting towards news. They're reacting towards different elements that are coming out. I mean, not even the economic data, folks. Believe it or not, economic data came out today that car sales in February increased dramatically. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, here we have economic data saying that not only, and this came out today, folks, that not only are car sales up for the month of February, but manufacturing as a whole is up for productivity. And yet, look at what happened in the markets today. It's a skittish market. What did I say yesterday, folks, in episode number 31? I was surprised to see any kind of a sell-off on oil yesterday. I was expecting what happened today, even though there was modest gains in the gold markets. I was expecting what happened today to happen yesterday, but, once again, this is a helter-skelter market. You never know what the hell's going to happen. The only way that you can, beat the stock market is to be able to be diversified, and not to mention, especially in equities, you have to be able to buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high, and be in for the long term, just like Warren Buffett. And when you've got Warren Buffett saying he's bullish on America because there's more opportunities out here, that should, give a jolt to the system, to the market, if you will. Anyway, we are in the third hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Please add to your favorites or bookmark the official True Capitalist Radio broadcast, the official website, blogtalkradio.com/ghost. That's blogtalkradio.com/ghost. And not to mention, folks, that I changed the video on the bottom of the page for anybody who's interested, because I like to change the video on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, or the official True Capitalist Radio webpage, I should say. And check that out. It's pretty funny. It's, the ghetto-fied version of Cribs, so to speak. So anyway, let me go ahead and take a chug of this beer, folks. Cheers to everybody out there. I know that anybody who's invested in the equities market took a blow to the breadbasket, but that's why I tell everybody listening to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast to invest wisely and diversify. Diversify, baby. It's not that hard. Go out there and spread your money around like wildfire. Anyway, folks, also, folks, follow me on Twitter if you're listening to me. Follow me on Twitter. The Twitter name to follow is Ghost Politics. All one word, no underscores. Ghost Politics is the name to follow. And since we're plugging so much stuff, folks, I also want to say that I have a YouTube channel. It's the same name, youtube.com/ghostpolitics. All right, I know I've been saying I'm going to post some videos on that particular web page or on that particular YouTube channel. Give me some time, and I'm going to post some clips. I'm going to show people the view of my website. I'm going to show some people my view from my office. I'm going to show some people some views of Austin, Texas, 6th Street life. It's going to be great. Anyway, hey, we got some people sitting here saying, chug, 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 so we're going to chug here. Let's go ahead and chug. Cheers to everybody out there that's capitalizing. Cheers to everybody who's listening up. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh, we still got a little bit in there. Hold on. I even had a little buzzer, come on, for Christ's sake. Anyway, sorry, I actually pushed something or something. Anyway, sorry, folks. I chugged the last of that beer. We got one more Weta, or Negra, I should say. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Let's go ahead and crack open the last Negra here. Oh, yeah. Anyway, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Once again, retweet the program. Go out there and spread it around like wildfire. Once again, folks, the only reason that the True Capitalist Radio broadcast gets the notoriety that it does is because of you. It's because you're spreading around the word. It's a completely word-of-mouth broadcast. And like I said, folks, I want people that are listening in, that are true fans, that actually want to make some cash. I'm putting up $200. $200 for anyone out there that can make a viral video of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Anybody who's listening out there that's within the sound of my voice, I want you to make a viral video of the True Capitalist broadcast. Now, there's a lot of videos on YouTube of yours truly. You can do a search for Ghost Capitalist, Ghost Conservative, True Capitalist Radio, True Conservative Radio, and there's a lot of videos, but I want them viral. You understand? I want somebody to make a video that is not only going to be funny and hey and cool and promote the show. I want something to be viral. I want people to just go to that damn video of yours and be exposed to the True Capitalist Radio website. They're going to be exposed to the True Capitalist Radio content, folks. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get more capitalists because that's what I want. I want more capitalists, damn it. I want more capitalists. And that's why I'm saying I'm putting up $200 to anybody out there that can make a damn viral video of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And if you've got it, all right, if you've got it, go ahead and email me. ghostpolitics@yahoo.com is the official email. ghostpolitics@yahoo.com, or tweet it to me. All right? The Twitter name is the same name, Ghost Politics. It's that simple. All you have to do is know one name, and you know it's everywhere. Anyway, folks, I am going to take another break here. And once again, what we're doing here when I'm taking breaks is promoting artists that are independent, that are giving out their music away on the Common Creative License. And we're trying to help them get some kind of a base out here because I'm tired of goddamn Hollywood. I'm tired of the music industry shoving this goddamn garbage down my hole. I'm tired of Lady Gaga, all right? This stupid hook-nosed skank is not the only bimbo to come up with these stupid cockamamie little stupid costume ideas, all right? This crap was invented by that fruit bowl out of New York, Michael Alec, and John St. John and all those trans-testicle fruit bowls that were out here living this life that Lady Gaga is trying to shove down her hole. They were living this life when it wasn't a fad. When it wasn't a trend, for Christ's sake. This broad is a complete rip-off. And not just to mention Lady Gaga, but Eminem. Eminem, for Christ's sake. We're supposed to sit here and palate this disgusting disgrace, this complete waste of human life, this Eminem, this guy that's supposed to be a gangster, when you know and I know he ain't no gangster. When you know as well as I, this asshole who tries to claim Detroit as a hometown got his ass kicked out of Detroit when he was 11 years old, by some humongous, Fat Albert, Barry White-looking motherfucker. He got his ass kicked out of Detroit at 11. His mammy sent him to, West Virginia or some trailer park like that. And he didn't come back to Detroit until he was 19, 20 years old. And he was out there, trying to be like some goofy-ass white kid trying to rap. The insane clown posse, those fat, stupid, disgusting ass clown bastards, even they talk garbage about him. It's stupid. Why are we following these idiots? I'll tell you why. Because they're the only ones we're exposed to. They're the only ones we're exposed to. They're the only ones we have to accept as, legitimate artists out here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it a quest. Ghost is going to make it a quest to try to promote independent artists. And if you happen to know an independent artist, you tell them to give me an email, ghostpod
politics@yahoo.com. You tell them to give me an email and tell them to shoot me wherever the hell they are. They got a YouTube space, or they got a MySpace, or they got a Facebook space. I will hear them and I will broadcast them right here because we need more independent artists. We need more creativity. And right now I'm going to put on another independent artist. This is Computer Magic, folks. Computer Magic, the end of time. Listen to it. All right, you like
You're listening to Ghost on True Capitalist Radio. True Capitalist Radio.
Yeah, that was a little bit of computer magic, folks. The end of time. Once again, that particular artist is on the Common Creative License, so if you like that song or want to hear any more of them, just look them up, Computer Magic. And you could probably download their whole album. They got about 2 or 3 albums out. And the only reason that I like Computer Magic is because it kind of reminds me of the 80s. And let me tell you, I really like the 80s. You know, I mean, even though at the time I thought that, society was getting a little bit haywire, it didn't compare to what the 90s and the 2000s have brought, folks. And, you never really appreciate a time until you look at it in retrospect. And, when I hear the synthetic bass and I hear the synthetic beats and all that crap, it reminds me of the 80s. So, if you like Computer Magic, hook them up with a couple of downloads. You can download the whole damn album for free. And this is what we're going to start doing, folks. We're going to start promoting independent artists out here, folks, because I know that artists in general, musicians, the money's not in the music any longer, folks. The money is not in making an album and selling it. The money is in the live appearances. And the only way that these artists can go out and put on a damn live good show is if we get them popular and if we like their music. Now, I know that, a couple of the songs that I played today are a little different. They're a little, kind of, they're kind of, a little eclectic, to say the least, but that's the purpose of, appreciating different brands, different creativities, different ideas of music, folks, and I think that music's a very good thing. I'm no longer going to, play any more mainstream crap because I feel that, it's not fair. It's not fair to the independent artists out there that want to be creative, that want to be creative and they don't get the credibility or they don't get the kudos or they don't get the plug because they're not, sucking the schlong head of some mainstream music executive. I mean, it's disgraceful. So I know that, the Computer Magic group or the Computer Magic song, The End of Time, is a little eclectic. It sounds a little synthetic bass and all that other stuff, but I like independent creative music, folks. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a shot right now. I'm going to take a shot to, independent music. How about that? How about I do a little something I'll do something like that. Here we do. Let me go ahead and fill up another shot, folks. This is Crown Royal Special Reserve that I'm drinking here. Listen to this. Here we're going to fill up the shot. There we go. Hold on, we're going to fill up the shot right now. Here we go. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Grandpa's old cough medicine. Anyway, folks, before I shoot this shot, I see a lot of people in the broadcast saying, hey, I know an independent artist. I know some people that could use some plug. Tell you what, man, give me their YouTube video. Give me their MySpace and whatever. Email it to me, ghostpolitics@yahoo.com. These two artists that I, put today, hey, Ghost is a part of the digital culture, baby. I know what I am, all right? I'm a part of digital culture, so what I'm going to do is, in turn, spread the word about others that are out there that, want to make some cake. They're honest musicians. They're not like these jerk-offs that back in the day they would make one-hit wonder, and all of a sudden we're supposed to buy these people at whatever, $15.99 a pop. I mean, it's crap. All right, it's utter crap. So anyway, let me go ahead and take this shot here. Cheers to everybody. I'm going to take some calls right now, so please, if you want in on the True Capitalist radio program, give me a call right now, 646-652-4869. Cheers, everybody. Here, I'm going to have a fake cheers here. I got a shot glass in my hand. Here, cheers, peeps. All right, cheers. Here we go. Yeah. You gotta love that nice Crown Royal Reserve, man. Crown Royal Reserve, nice, smooth, going down. Nice and smooth. Anyway, 646-652-4869. If you want to say something, say it. Let me take another chug of this Negra. Where did that Negra go? Here we go. Here, let's take some calls. Poco Kitty, are you there? completely honest with you, all right? This Poco Kitty had been waiting there for at least an hour and a half. I mean, I was watching it there on the switchboard. Hour and a half. An hour and a half just waiting there. And that is the culmination of the hour and a half of waiting on the horn. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. And this is America, though, folks. This is what we're talking about. This is why all these people that are sitting here telling me, oh, I can't believe that you can't have any compassion for American people. Well, that's why, folks. That's why right there. That's why, for Christ's sake. Anyway, 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. Please raise your hand if you want to be, talked to here on the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. What's really unfortunate, folks, is that every time I try to relay information, and it's not just political information, it's not just social information, economical information, just information in general. All I get is a bunch of milky lickers who call me up and think it's a great time in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood to agitate the ghost man. And I don't understand why people can't just say, hey, maybe, just maybe, I should listen and make some freaking money. I'm hearing people call up saying, hey, Ghost, you made me money, thank you. Hey, it's not brain scientist, baby. I want to make more capitalist. I want people to make money. Don't you understand that? I'm not a hater. You see, haters hate people that make money. I'm not a hater. You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to spread around the spirit of capitalism. I'm trying to be a true capitalist out here, all right? Anyway, I want to hear from you, 646-652-4869. We got about 38 minutes left in the broadcast, and we're going to talk. We're going to talk to some people here. We got Sereno. Hey, what's going on, Sereno? That's enough. I mean, hopefully, I was going to say, Serena, hopefully that's some independent music, go ahead and spread it around, whatever the case might be. But in my opinion, haters hate people making money. I mean, we're seeing people in the chat room saying, hey, that makes excellent sense. Well, that's the way it is, man. I mean, that's all there is to it. I mean, even if they're friends of yours, you notice how friends, your so-called friends, whenever you're saying, hey, baby, I'm living lavish, man. I just went on a vacation to the Caribbean, and I was sipping, margaritas on the beach with crystal blue oceans. And, I mean, they look at you like you just kind of, farted on their kid on a Sunday dress or something. I mean, seriously. They look at you really strange, cockeyed, like you were, a Russian that took away their vodka or something. I mean, seriously, they look at you freaked out. And what's really sad is that they shouldn't try to hate you. They should try to be you. And it doesn't matter if it's friends. It could be family. It doesn't matter, man. I mean, us as capitalists need to realize that the only people that are going to understand where we're coming from, the only people that are going to understand that, hey, I'm capitalizing and, I just want to meet somebody based upon their personality. I don't want somebody to be attached to me because they read dollar signs. I mean, capitalists are the only ones that can understand that. You know what I'm saying? That's why this is True Capitalist Radio. We need true capitalists, people that make money, people that all they care about is money. Okay? I mean, don't get me wrong. You can go and rekindle your childhood by living with your folks. You can rekindle little, emotions with your friends every now and then, but don't depend on them for anything. Remember, as a capitalist, it's a lonely life, baby. It's a lonely life because inevitably what's going to happen is that everybody is going to try to be the ultimate mooch off of your ass. And that's what really sucks. You notice when you're a successful capitalist, people know. People can sense it. They can smell it. You know, they know that you're living large. And what do? They try to befriend you. And once they befriend you, what do? They try to give you their problems. They're like, yeah, you know, I'm late on my payment for my house, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with my car payment. I don't know how I'm gonna feed my kid. And they always unload the negativity in their life on you. Whenever you hear this, folks, just cut them off. Just cut them off. Just say, no, I don't want to hear this crap, folks. I mean, I don't want to hear this. I mean, you know, we have problems everywhere. Everybody's got a problem. You know, but that's what is a magnet to capitalist. What's a magnet to capitalist is, you know, moochers that don't want to solve their own problems on their own. What they do is they come by, they see that you're successful, and they're like, hey, you know, I my kids, and I need help, and I can't feed my kids, and I'm man, come on, man. And that's why you got to be careful, folks. That's why you got to be careful. 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. Let's take some calls. 718, you there? Stupid piece of crap. Get him off. Get him off! I hate that song. I don't ever want to hear that song again. I don't ever want to hear... I don't want to hear that song. I hate it. I hate it. 727, you're on the air.
Hey, Ghost. Hey,
what's up?
Hold on, Cal. Hey, I never hear you talk. I got a feeling you don't care for the sector, but you got any thoughts on, you know, the Googles and the Apples of the world and the Amazons and all them?
Well, you know, I actually think that we should be really focusing on them. I actually wrote a blog at ghostpolitics.blogspot.com about how Google was, you know, was the basic catapult into the Egyptian uprising. I mean, you know, Google didn't even deny it. They said, hey, our executive, Wael Ghanem, he's out there agitating Egypt, and we're proud of him. And I think that, you know, what Google was able to do in Egypt should be a concern of not only capitalists, but it should be a concern of governments and rule of law everywhere. So, yeah, I can agree with you on Google. I can agree with you on a couple of other companies, but what's unfortunate is that these idiot American people continue to buy these products that these multinationals, who are obviously abusing their power and their positions in the market, they continue to buy them. And this is why I continue to say to capitalists that where you spend your money is a political statement. It's no longer about voting. It's about where you spend your capital. It's where you spend your money. And if you're going to spend your money on buying, you know, a several $1,000 iPad, even though they're about to release the new iPad 2 this month, you're the fool. I mean, when we go into China and look at the wholesale manufacturing cost of a damn iPad, it's like $10-15. And here you got goofs in America paying, what is it, $2,000-3,000 for a goddamn iPad. I mean, this is what's screwing America. Now, whose real fault is that, to be honest with you there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a little bearish on most of those companies just because it doesn't seem that there's any way to, you know, keep other competitors out. It seems like no matter what you come up with, somebody's going to offer it for almost next to nothing a week later.
Oh, are you talking about the investments as far as, like, you know, investing in those?
Yeah, definitely.
Like investing in Apple?
I'm thinking about shorting a lot of them because I think they've had a long run up. I think that.
Well, you're damn right, 727. I mean, I think they've had a long run is right. You know, Apple since we're I was talking more on a geopolitical scale in relating to those companies. I thought you were talking about that aspect, but as far as they're running themselves out, as far as a long run is concerned, you're absolutely right. I mean, $600 and something for Google. I think Google has already tapped itself out, in my personal opinion. And in my view, I think that everybody should try to, just steer away from Google and any other new companies that come about. You should try to, go in and entertain those ideas when it comes to, joining the services of some of those tech companies, because Google, I think, has worn itself out. I know it's over $600 a share. Apple, over $350. I don't know. Maybe it went down a little bit today. But you're damn right they've worn out their welcome. I would never, ever, ever, ever pay more than, $100 or $150 for a stock. The last time I paid $100 for a stock, I'll take that back. I day traded some Caterpillar when the earnings came out about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and made some considerable capital on that. But I mean, the last time I made some serious money on some stock that was over $100 was back in 1998, I believe, when I traded Rambus. For those of you folks that were able to take advantage of that particular hill back then, it was a lot of money to be made, man. I mean, I remember Rambus was winning all those litigation lawsuits, and literally within about, 6 months, it went from like $50 to $90 to $140. I mean, it was just unbelievable, unbelievable rise to the top. I remember that. I capitalized on that. I hope you did too, but you're absolutely right, man. I mean, I would not personally, in my personal opinion, touch any of these companies, Apple, Google, and who else did you say?
Well, there's the companies that make Android and all these. I think at the end of the day, if you want to invest money in the companies that actually deliver a product, which would be if you're talking about telephone technology, would be the actual ones that own the cell towers, because it seems like the software and the phones and all that is just so cutthroat, and every guy that comes along goes a little bit lower, a little bit cheaper, changes every week, and it doesn't seem to be any long-term stability for any company. You can't monopolize it. When it comes to the internet and technology, it's very hard to monopolize. I mean, Facebook has kind of done it. It's a little niche there, but other than that, it's very hard to monopolize because somebody is willing to offer a tech service for next to nothing, sometimes free. I mean, you can get software for free these days. So.
No, I agree, 727. You got a blog or something you want to plug, man?
No blog. But what are you looking for in the morning and open in the market? You got any? Looking for anything specific?
To be honest with you, that's why I wake up at about 5 in the morning and check out the futures, that's how I gauge my perspective on the market. Because remember, you have to gauge how not just on the futures market of the morning, but you also want to read the Asian, European markets and see how they did. Because it's a decent gauge to figure out, if you're a futures trader betting or on the day's plus or negative side. I mean, that's where you can make some money if you're a futures trader. But if you're an equities person, the futures is a good gauge. But at the same time, I mean, we saw futures today early in the morning. I saw futures today up, before the day's trading, about 50, 60 points. And today we saw the market close down 140, 150 points. So that's why I'm saying, I mean, it's all speculative.
Yeah, that just goes to prove, don't jump in before Bernanke speaks.
Yeah, no kidding, man, no kidding.
All right, man, I'll look for your tweets. Take care.
No problem, man. What were you going to say?
I said I'll look for your tweets in the morning.
All right, man, I'll definitely be there. Thank you for calling in, and thank you for your insight, man. You be cool. But inevitably, I mean, it's a helter-skelter market. I have somebody in the chat room asking me, what is day trading? Well, folks, day trading is when you know there's going to be volatility in the market. Like, for instance, you want to see charts. Like, if you pull up a stock, You want to see a chart that has a day chart, 1 day chart that has hills up and down, a chart. That's when you want to day trade, because you can get in on a stock at a very cheap price. All right, especially some of these earnings plays and some of these, some of these stock split plays, IPO plays. These are the types of things that you want to day trade. When I day traded Caterpillar and made some serious capital, at that time, Caterpillar was like a little under $99 a share. But because they made better than expected earnings a couple of weeks ago, they went up considerably. I think they went up to about $102, $103, and it went up to as far as that day, as far as I can recollect. I mean, up to about 104, 105. And just imagine if you would have bought, 1,000 shares at 99 and just held it for a second, or held it for an hour until it reached from 99 to about 102, and you sell off. You made that much more capital. I mean, for every dollar that a stock raises, for every 1,000 shares you have, that's $1,000. So if you buy 1,000 shares of something and you're trying to base your investment on an earnings play, and and this is your speculation, of course. You got to speculate that this particular company is going to have better than expected earnings in the street, and you make that earnings play. You buy it, and as the day goes by, as it increases $1, $2, or whatever it increases, you sell it off that same day. That's day trading. Where you hold on to equities for a short period of time, whether it's, it could be as short as milliseconds, believe it or not. I mean, we've got the black box phenomena where you've got computers, believe it or not. Algorithm coders have been able to program computers to be able to trade stocks on milliseconds and capitalize off of 1 penny increases in stocks. And you should look into the whole black box industry, folks. I mean, it's a for real phenomena. I mean, you can make money off of seriously day trading everything. If you're a serious day trader, you can make some serious money in volatility, especially in these choppy waves that we see throughout the day trading market, man. So anyway, that's what day trading is. Anyway, I want to hear some more callers. 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. Let's take some more callers. Goku is in the house. What's going on, Goku?
What's up, Ghost? Not much. What's happening with you?
Nah, I'm chilling, man. I hear that there's some flooding, major flooding in Ohio. I read about that today. You all right over there?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. There's no flooding in my neck of the woods.
Oh, that's good, man. How's it going, man?
It's good. I'm just chilling back. A little tired, though, but, it's all good.
Oh, man, a little tired. Well, you didn't get much sleep last night? Were you gaming or what?
No, just watching some TV there.
No, I hear you. How it goes, man. So,
yeah.
I saw that you were writing in the chat room. How do you, how exactly do you invest, right?
Yeah, how do you start? And, I don't know where to start or, how to do it because it's all confusing. I got, about, $300 liquid. I can get that cash right now. So I just have questions how to start, how to invest, how to keep going with it.
Well, what's unfortunate, Goku, is that you're under the age of 18 and, you can't open up a brokerage account, so you can't trade stocks.
Almost.
But you can, though. You can go out and buy some gold or some silver and put it in a safe or put it in your underwear drawer or something of that nature. And believe it or not, that gold is worth a hell of a lot more money than the actual capital that you're saving. I mean, that's just one easy aspect of investment. Until you can, turn 18 and you can invest, you need to go to a brokerage account, which is, I've got, if you go to if you go to ghostpolitics.blogspot.com, under the player that's on the right side, there's a little first trade little icon. You can go there, open up an equities account there. They'll give you 250 trades for free. That would be an aspect to go. Now, what you have to do, though, is you have to wire them the money that you're going to send them. You have to wire it to them. or send it to them via check or money order or that sort of thing. And, you have to continue to send them those checks so that you can fund your account. And that's how you start a brokerage account there, Goku.
All right, sounds good. I turned 18 in about November, around that month, so...
Yeah, I hear you, man. Hey, can you hold on, Goku? 1 second, folks. I gotta, unfortunately, I've been chugging beers. And you know how it goes when you're chugging beers, folks, especially as a man. When you're chugging a damn beers, it just goes through you like water. So stay with us, Goku. I'll be right back. Here's that one song again. I want to pump Computer Magic, The End of Time, because it's a pretty good artist. Check him out. Here we go one more time. Here, let me lower it down while I'm at it. Here we go. Go ahead. Check it out. On hold like that, but that was a little bit of Computer Magic, The End of Time, an independent artist from the Creative Commons license. It sounded pretty hip. I like the synth bass. All you haters out there that are like, what is this crap? Shove it up your ass, all right? Goku, you there, man?
Yeah, I'm still here. What's up, Ghost? Hey, at least...
All right,
go ahead. Least I'm taking the initiative to think about investing, not going to college, because these kids in my school are like, go to college, and these teachers are like, go to college, and everyone's like, no, I downloaded some practice games on my iPod, like invest. You get like a fake $100,000 account, and you invest and watch the market and all that. And I told them, dude, then they're like, what do you mean you're investing? I'm like, I'm practicing so that when I get older I can do this. They're like, what are you, crazy or something? You got to go to college. That's where it's at.
Oh, my God, are you kidding me? I mean, why don't you tell them, hey, Bill Gates says that college is going to be obsolete in 10 years. What do you got to say about that? And what are they going to say? No, Bill Gates doesn't know crap. This guy's one of the richest men in the world.
Exactly.
I mean, give me a break.
They won't know what to say because the teachers, they just pump it in our brains, and that they have no other way out of it. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to invest. They don't know about investing. They don't know about stocks. They don't know about anything. They just know college, go to college, and then that's it. And then we'll see how you are in the future, paying $50,000 in debt and getting a job in this market. We'll see how you are.
Yeah, no kidding. And then not to mention there, Goku, that when you're investing all this money into college, you're paying money before you even go into the employment market. Why not just get employed for whatever amount of money that you can get paid, save some capital, put it in some stocks, bonds, real estate, whatever you can put in there, and just do it that way. Just accumulate your assets. There should be no reason. I mean, it's a no-brainer to think that, hey, why am I going to go to college when all I'm going to do is put myself in debt before I even go to work? And then I am obligated for life for that college loan. I mean, do you understand that there is no going bankrupt on college loans? I mean, the government has nationalized every college loan, so you're going to have to pay it for life. And if you happen to get some job, the government will find it through your Social Security number and basically force whatever business owner that's paying you to dock so much money out of your check so they can pay for your student loan interest and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So it's a bad situation there, Goku.
Exactly. Great example. My English teacher still pays for his still pays for his student loans.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's bad.
And what is he trying to throw a positive spin on it? Like, yeah, I'm still paying for my student loans, but that's just a part of life. Is that what he's trying to sell it as?
He's like,
Jesus Christ.
Still paying for
Don't
the
listen
student
to
loans.
that bastard, man. Don't listen to that bastard.
I don't listen to the
he doesn't
teachers.
know his ass from his elbow. Go ahead.
I don't listen to the teachers. They're all bullshitting us. That's it.
I hear you, Goku, and like I said, man, if they ever tell you some crap, say, hey, Bill Gates said that in 10 years college is obsolete, so what gives? And if they tell you, well, what they're going to do is say that you're lying. They're going to say Bill Gates didn't say that, and you can say, yeah, he did. Why don't you Google it up? And once they realize that Bill Gates really said that college ain't crap, then what are they going to do? Then they're going to try to justify why their jobs are even pertinent in your life. They're going to try to justify this crap, and don't let them justify it, Goku. It's a bunch of garbage, and as long as you're able to read, and as long as you're able to learn and continue to understand the capitalist game. Remember, it's constant learning. You don't ever stop reading. You don't ever stop learning. It's a constant evolution. That's what's so beautiful about the capitalist game. But as long as you're on top of your game, the whole linguistic idea of being on top of your game, well, that's what it means. If you're on top of your game, you're going to make some serious capital, Goku. And you're at the right age to start inquiring about the market, about investing and that sort of thing. And there's a bunch of services out there that allow you to invest with fake money and invest with fake stock markets, that sort of thing, so you can actually practice,
Oh, I can't. Hold on. Oh, sorry, Goku.
Is Mom calling you?
Yeah. All
right, man. You take it easy, bro.
Yeah, see you later.
All right, man. All right. And tell that mom of yours to pipe the hell down, all right? In about 10 years, you're going to be richer than her, all right? You used to say, hey, Ma, you shouldn't be talking. You shouldn't be talking that way to me, Ma. You're not going to be talking to me that way. I'm going to be rich, and you're going to be begging me to take care of you. You're going to be begging me to fill your colostomy bag, you bimbo. No, I'm just joking. I didn't mean to call your mom a bimbo. I'm just joking, man. Anyway, 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. We got 13 minutes left in the broadcast. I want to hear from you. Before we move on to more callers, folks, I wanted to talk about how the NBA and the NFL are going to have a lockout. That's right. This is the last season unless, somebody comes up with some kind of even keel common sense line in the middle. We're not going to see NFL or NBA next season. You're not going to see that. Now, I'm just joking, Goku. I'm not trying to talk garbage about your mom. I'm just joking, man. All right, come on. You can talk garbage about my mama if that makes you feel better, right? And she's in the grave, for Christ's sake. She's 6 feet under. She's been pushing up daisies for a long period of time, so it's okay. Here, let me go ahead and take another shot here. Here, let's go ahead and throw another shot in here. Oh, yeah. Anyway, look, check it out. The thing is, though, is that there is going to be a lockout in the NBA. I don't know. According to most NBA insiders, these assholes want to renegotiate their leverage against owners. Owners aren't really appreciating it because owners are losing money at the gate. Same thing with the NFL. I mean, the NFL is a little different situation. I think that the NFL players actually have a case when they want more money, because if you look at the comparison between pays between NFL players and NBA players, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, the NFL players are laying their goddamn bodies on the line. You know what I mean? They're broken out there on the field, for Christ's sake. So it just makes sense to renegotiate the contract on the NFL end. On the NBA end, I don't know where these players think they're coming from. I mean, look, I like basketball, but it's getting a little old, all right? It's getting a little old, and I know that they were trying to shove this LeBron James guy down my throat, but he didn't pan out to be the next Jordan, all right? He's not that great. If he was that great, he would have been able to take the Cleveland Cavaliers all the way and win a finals game. But he's not that good. He sucks. And not only that, he's never been in a dunk contest. He doesn't wow us. I don't like LeBron James, man. I think that he's just some overgrown Neanderthal that has been able to, go from high school to right into the NBA because, he was, let's be honest, he was built like a man when he was like 16 years old. But the problem is that, his simplistic mind and his lack of competitive attitude is what, kind of screwed up everything, LeBron James really sucks. You could tell him I said that, man. He really isn't that good. We've been expecting stuff out of you, LeBron, you pimple-faced, chewing your nails bastard. We've been expecting stuff from you, and you're not putting out. Here you are, you're on the Miami Heat where you got D-Wade. Man, D-Wade was in the same draft, the draft pick as you were. Don't you know that Dwayne Wade was in the same draft? He was drafted number 3, I believe. D-Wade was drafted number 3. I think number 2 was that one Serbian bastard that Detroit picked. Old Joe Dumars thought he was like gangster or something. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna choose some Serbian bastard. I even forgot his goddamn name, but he sucks. But D-Wade, was the 3rd draft pick, excuse me, I think D-Wade was 4th. I take that back because I think it was LeBron, then that Serbian, then it was Carmelo, and then after Carmelo, it was D-Wade, and that was a great draft pick. It was a great draft that year. But what sucks is that LeBron James was supposed to be the man that was supposed to bring a damn title. Here, D-Wade, when he was in Miami Heat, single-handedly, Dwayne Wade single-handedly gave Miami Heat the title that one year that they went out there and won the title. And if you look at how much points D-Wade averaged, he averaged like 40-something points a game throughout the finals. And you know what really sucks? Is that you had the Fat Van Gundy. Not the mortician, not the guy that used to be the New York Knicks head coach. I'm talking about the other Van Gundy, the Fat Van Gundy. The Fat Van Gundy was the guy who was coaching the team, right? Remember when Pat Riley was having that, 15 season, and he was like, screw that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be the president or the GM or whatever the hell he is in the upper office, and he allowed Stan Van Gundy, that's his name, Stan Van Gundy to run the coaching helm out in Miami. Well, once he realized that Stan Van Gundy was going to get him a potential finals showing, all of a sudden Patrick, what the hell's his name? Pat Riley decided, oh, you know what, Stan Van Gundy, we don't need you anymore. We're going to go ahead and take you out, and I'm going to be the coach again. That's what we're doing. And lo and behold, Pat Riley got another ring on the back of D-Wade. Anyway, the whole point is that I think NBA needs to step their game up before they start flexing their nuts about any kind of contract negotiation. Anyway, we got 7 minutes left in the broadcast, folks. Let's go ahead and take some calls here. 646-652-4869. Willie Robertson, are you there, sir?
I'm Ghost Baby Buns. I know you missed me. I know I really missed your 2-inch wang. You there, Baby Buns?
Jesus Christ. Get off! Here we are. We're at the end of the show. I'm looking for, to go out on a highlight here, and this is what we have. This is it here. Anyway, I already poured myself a shot. Let me go ahead and take that shot here. Cheers to everybody out there. People, cheers. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Let me take a shot here. Oh! Because drinking is what I like to do. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me, folks. We got 7 minutes left. Please please add to your favorites and spread around like wildfire. blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Tell everybody. I mean, why don't you email the media, folks? I am strongly advising everybody who's listening in, email your favorite media talking head and tell them about the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. I'm talking about spreading around like wildfire. I'm not joking, folks. It takes you, the listener of the True Capitalist Radio program, to spread it around out here, to let everybody know how it is, because we don't advertise our show, folks. We don't advertise. I don't go out to other shows and check them out. I don't do this kind of crap. I mean, I'm an investor. I'm a goddamn capitalist. I'm making my money out here, and the only reason I do this broadcast is because it was a hobby I did, as a conservative when I was a conservative, and now that I'm a capitalist, I'm writing it off as a damn write-off, for Christ's sake. And at the same time, I'm hoping that the people that are listening in are taking some of the insight and the advice that I'm giving and going out there and capitalizing, making some serious capital, making some serious goddamn money. I hope that you're listening. I hope. And once again, folks, I am giving out $200 to anybody that's out there listening that can make a viral video promoting the True Capitalist Radio broadcast and bringing in more listeners here in the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And let me tell you something else. If your viral video makes any kind of mainstream media, and it doesn't matter if it's in your country of origin or national media, global media, whatever the case might be, you let me know, give me the proof, and I will give you some more cash, man. That's all there is to it. All right, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. All right, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. So everybody that wants to win the $200, spread your link around like wildfire. Go out there and tell everybody about it. Tell everybody to repost your video. Go out there and tell everybody, folks. I am going to pay $200 to the most viral video that's out here bringing in new listeners to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And by the way, folks, I'm sincerely considering opening up a 1-900 number, which is a direct line to yours truly. That's right. At any point in time, I'm considering you just call up a 1-900 number. It will bring you right to my phone any point of the night, anytime you need some advice, you need, some help, you need anything. I'm considering it. I am going to put a vote here soon on my blog, ghostpolitics.blogspot.com, and see how popular that idea is. And if that's a popular idea, then we may go for it. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever the case might be. No. You could still call this number for the show. No. The 1-900 number is not for the show. All right? The 646-652-4869, it's going to stay the same. I'm talking about after the show. You want to call Ghost late one night, or you want to call Ghost early in the morning. You want to call Ghost to see if you want to get his advice on something. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about calling in to, call into the show. No, absolutely not. But we're going to what we're going to do is we're going to have a poll on my blog, ghostpolitics.blogspot.com, and see how much people favor that. And if people favor that, we're going for it, because let's be honest, folks. I'm going to be honest with you. This advertising model that the True Capitalist Radio broadcast is going by, it ain't working. It ain't working. I mean, this damn, advertising model where we were going to make money off the advertising, that sort of thing, it just ain't working, folks. I just don't know what else to say. So we're thinking about other aspects, other ways to make capital here, because it's all about capitalism. So be on the lookout for that voting little thingamabob. I'm going to put a little voting widget on the blog, ghostpolitics.blogspot.com. And, of course, folks, I'd like for everybody to please add to your favorites and spread around like wildfire the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. That's blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Anyway, I'm here tomorrow, same place, same time, folks. Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, folks. And I want to see you here. Do you understand that? I want to see you here. Before I go, I'm going to chug this beer here. I'm going to chug this beer here, and I hope that I hear or see you here with me tomorrow or in another time at the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. So please spread around the word, blogtalkradio.com/ghost, and follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I want more Twitter friends, for Christ's sake. I mean, I've been on the air for 5 years, and this is all I get, 177 Twitter friends? Come on, for Christ's sake. I know that some of you are ashamed of me, and you don't want to admit that you're actually my friend, but hook me up. Ghost Politics. Ghost Politics is the name to follow on on Twitter. And not to mention that we do have a YouTube channel. youtube.com/ghostpolitics. So I want to see you on all there. Spread it around like wildfire. I'm still giving out $200 to the best viral video promoting the True Capitalist Radio program. I hope you're creative. I hope that you listen in. Thank everybody for tuning in with me. Long live capitalism, and I hope to see you here tomorrow.
You've been listening to True Capitalist Radio. The thoughts, views, ideas, comments, and opinions of the host of this show are absolutely his. Catch more live episodes Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30 Central, or check out archive shows at blogtalkradio.com. True Capitalist Radio.
That's it.
A Napa guy knows not to judge a man by his car's multicolored paint job or absence of modern gadgetry. Who cares if it's technically old enough to vote and the windows are powered by the strength of your left arm? Your monthly payment is zero. And it'll stay that way. Because with over 400,000 parts and a little Napa know-how, you can keep anything on the road. She may not be pretty, but she's all yours. That's Napa know-how.